the king of the castle.
No. Just no.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Carpets and Coffee. Oh,
shit.
Shoot. We got cold-blooded
There's
caffeine
a sponsor
in the
here.
house.
Quick, everyone act like you're supposed to. You know what you're doing.
Yes. Carpets and Coffee. Cold-blooded caffeine.
Yeah.
By the way, there it is. The NPR blend. That's what I've been drinking.
It's
I don't know about you guys.
I love it.
Yes.
I mean, I drink it so much, there's no more.
Yeah, I'm out. I have one bag that I'm like, no. So
yeah, I just was going through my emails and I was telling you guys that they were talking to us about maybe doing a giveaway or something like that, or some kind of promotion of some sort or whatever. But yeah, if you're into coffee, coldbloodedcaffeine.com, go check it out. We got a referral code in the show notes, and you can what's up? Oh, we got Dustin, we got Alex. Shoot, we got the whole group. Here. We also have Travis Wyman.
He's down there. Yeah.
How you doing?
I'm doing all right.
Travis wants to. Let's make it happen. Yes, we can.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Travis had asked us to come on and talk about something, so I'm going to let you go for it, man. You go to it.
Yep.
As you may or may not have heard me on other podcasts this past week or so, my wife is a type 1 diabetic, and as a consequence of living as a type 1 diabetic, where it does a lot of horrible things to your body, one of those things that it does is destroy your kidneys. And she has hit the point now where her kidneys are beginning the end stage failure, which necessitates that she be put on a transplant list. And so I'm kind of putting out a call to the community to try and recruit living donors. And the reason I'm doing that is because when you go on the transplant list, that list is currently 90,000 people deep.
Jesus.
And the wait list is only for people who are looking at receiving a deceased kidney. And paradoxically, people think like, well, lots of people die, so there should be lots of kidneys available. But in reality, you can't just take a kidney from anybody that dies. You know, somebody gets in a car accident and dies, that kidney is going to be messed up from the car accident. So that kidney is not something that can be given to somebody else.
Right.
So it's only a very small number of kidneys that make it into the deceased pool, such that being on that 90,000 person wait list, it's typically 4 to 8 years before somebody can get a kidney.
Oh, wow.
And even more upsetting is that about a third of the people who end up on that list come off because they're either rendered medically ineligible or they pass away while they're still waiting to get a hold of a kidney. Yeah. So, like I said, this is why I'm recruiting for potential live donors, because that helps in so many ways. It cuts the wait time down to like a year to 18 months usually. And it has lots of positive benefits for the recipient. Like a live kidney usually has a lifespan of about 20 to 40 years in a recipient, whereas a deceased kidney is 10 to 15 years. And because you've got that 10 to 15 year lifespan in a recipient, they usually end up back on the transplant list, whereas somebody who gets a live kidney very often doesn't end up back on the transplant list. It's also, I mean, it's a big thing to give up a kidney.
Yeah.
But it's of all the organs you have in your body, it's a great one to be able to give up, because you've got 2 of them.
Give a spare. Yeah.
Yeah. Those 2 actually do about 4 times the work that your body needs. So even going down to 1, you're still getting about 2 times the capacity of work that you need.
Yeah.
And being part of a living donor network, we're specifically working with the National Kidney Registry. There are a lot of protections built in to help recipients. So, you know, if you donate a kidney, you're automatically registered for this Kidney for Life initiative, which says if you ever end up later in life needing a kidney, you automatically go to the top of the list. There's no obligation if you register in. If like at any point in time in it, you change your mind, you're able to back out and there's no repercussions against you. In fact, the way they set it up is the donors have their own team that is separate from the recipient's team, and those teams are completely firewalled. So if anything happens where the donor chooses to back out, then all the donor's team tells the recipient's team is this donor is no longer eligible.
Okay.
And so the recipient wouldn't know. So, if somebody did go in and start the process and then, their spouse changed their mind, or they themselves decided, initially I thought about it and it was okay, but now I'm scared and I don't want to go through surgery, then they back out. And for all we know, then it's because your medical tests didn't come up right and there's never any repercussions. They wouldn't even tell us that you got through into the process. It would just be, there was a donor, they've backed out. We wouldn't know who that person would be.
Okay.
There's financial compensations that are offered to people. So like if you have to take time off of work and your work wouldn't pay, PTO or anything like that, you would get financial compensation. They also cover all of the medical costs involved in getting yourself tested, which is like $10,000 worth of costs. So if you've ever wanted to get a free CAT scan, now's your time.
Yeah. You can see if there's anything else on there. Yeah.
Yeah. There's minimal downtime to donors. You get like a day or two in the hospital. Usually within a week, you're up and moving again. You can be back to work in 2 to 3 weeks. And there's no major impact to your overall life. Like if you're a marathon runner, before you donate a kidney, you are still a marathon runner after a kidney. In fact, there are usually, in a lot of these major marathons that happen around the country, there are kidney donor teams that are there representing. There was a group of kidney donors that went and hiked Kilimanjaro just to show that people who've donated kidneys can hike Kilimanjaro. So it doesn't put you out, it doesn't suddenly make you, crippled or incapable of doing the things that you want to do.
Right.
They do generally suggest that you don't do anything too crazy. Like, maybe you shouldn't take up skydiving, but
I don't think you should do that if you have both kidneys.
well, there's that
like,
too. Or
I think there are some lines that I don't think need to be crossed, but yeah. Jumping out of a perfectly good airplane.
I have heard pointed out also, if you only have one kidney and you go skydiving and your parachute doesn't open, I think you have bigger problems than the fact that you only
you'd
have
still
one
be
kidney.
just as dead even if you had both. I mean, like, I don't, yeah.
So, it's even a fuzzy line there. But it's like I said, I know it's a big ask, but this is something that the herp community has always done, is they tend to rally around. And I know it's different than asking for money, which, sometimes it's a lot easier to throw $20 or $50 or, throw a snake into an auction or something. But if it's something that they might be willing to consider or just find out more about and maybe, look into deeper and would be willing to potentially offer up, their kidney, it would be hugely appreciated by us. I'm going through the process now. I'm not a match to Julie. So I can't donate directly to her. That's another thing that is a possibility with live donors, is if you can't match your donor exactly, you can enter into what's called a paired exchange voucher system, where I have to go through a couple of more tests. But then what happens is I go into a national registry, and if I match somebody else, then they call me in and I donate to that person, which sets off a chain where that person's donor then donates to a next person, and they find matches along the line, and it either circles all the way back and ends at Julie, or if it doesn't close the link there, then because a kidney has been put out in the name of Julie, she gets a voucher so that the next perfect match to her automatically goes to her.
Okay.
So that's another way it shortens that wait time, and it helps stack the deck in her favor. So like I said, I'm trying to recruit people. Her family, unfortunately, nobody in her family is medically eligible, which is why they can't do it.
Okay.
So I'm just trying to get, some names of people, and again, I know it's a huge ask, but if you're willing to even just reach out to me to learn more, I've got a document that talks you through how to go through the process. I can send you some links that offer more information about it. If you find me on Facebook, I have linked my wife's posting to her Facebook account that discusses the whole thing. There are links in there. So you can find out more that way. If you want to reach out to me, I'm on Instagram as well, snakes_n_bakes. You can email me, asplundii, ASPLUNDII @gmail. I'm sure if you can't remember any of this, you could reach out to, these three guys and they'll point you in my direction.
We know where to find Travis. Yeah.
I'm not hard to find. But,
yeah.
Unless if you confuse me for the other Travis Wyman on Facebook, who's a motocross racer, that could be a problem. I'm sure he's
look for
why
snakes and delicious baked goods, and you found the right Travis. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
But if it's something that you would be willing to consider or just want to talk to me more, I'm more than happy to talk about it. Like I said, I've gone through the process myself right now, so I can give you more details. And, if you do go through it, the worst case scenario is you're a perfect match for my wife and you donate a kidney to her and you help change her life and subsequently change my life by keeping her around for me. And the best case scenario, as strange as it sounds, is you're not a match for her, but you do end up in that paired exchange program. And maybe you start off a kidney donation chain that helps 4 or 5 or 6 other people, and that's a huge thing too.
100%. I'll put your information right in the show notes so they can just click on it
right there.
Your email.
Okay, that's greatly appreciated.
Yeah, 100%.
Best of luck with this one, man. Hopefully everything kind of ends up working out on this one.
Yeah, I'm hopeful. It's it's nice to at least live in a day and age where, we have this way of communicating with lots of people. Like, it's great that we have these communities that we have, you guys, Justin and Jake, James, as soon as I hit you guys up, all of you were just like, absolutely, nobody pushed back. Everybody stepped right up to the plate. And even that means so much that it's a lot.
Yeah.
Find me the show that gives pushback. I would have a wonderful time.
Yeah, I wouldn't expect that there would be one out there, but I could at the same, like when I messaged all of you guys, I was like, I know this is a big ask, and it felt weird asking, but at the same time, it's like I shouldn't feel weird because I know that these people understand why I'm asking, and even if they felt that it wasn't the right thing to do, they would still be understanding. They wouldn't just be like, no, fuck off. They'd be like, I don't know that we want to do that, but we can still help out in other ways. And
it's not that big of an ask. I mean, we could even hold down Lucas and take one of his. I mean, we can. We should test first. Never mind. Sorry. So let's.
The whole match.
It'd be good to test before.
Process.
I got it. Gotta look at the match.
Hey, Lucas, why don't you come out to Northeast Kidney Fest? I promise you won't wake up in a bathtub full of ice.
Does this rag smell like chloroform? Yeah.
Not Northeast Kidney Fest.
Northeast. It's the Carpet Fest T-shirt has a hidden kidney in it somewhere. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
I gotta get Jeff to do that on the
he should have known it's his own fault.
T-shirt
Yeah.
for this
year. Cool. Well, I guess now we have to do like this show now or something. I guess now, right?
I suppose.
Yeah.
Or we just edit there, and everybody's like, "Man, that was a real bummer."
That was that was rough. Yeah, it's
I'll do also is I'll just cut out that beginning. I'll put it on the front of all the pods.
Yeah.
So that
we have a channel.
It's
Why
out
not?
there.
Yeah, you got shows.
Yeah, why not use it?
You got shows for
if you have a
days.
platform.
That's why Travis doesn't have to go on every single one now. Like, it's if anything, we're saving him time. Like,
I mean, honestly, I
Travis is the
didn't
man.
think about hitting every single one because one, that
That's-
probably would have just been a scheduling nightmare, and two, I figured that might, overwhelm everybody.
Yeah.
He goes directly to the Podfather and
That's
and
right.
does that. Yeah, I know. I know how it works.
Yeah, we'll do it up, man. Absolutely. 100%.
I appreciate it, gentlemen. It's, I appreciate everything that I have been shown by the community so far. It's been great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course.
Absolutely.
Well, we love you, man. I hope that the perfect match comes very quickly.
Yeah. It's not as much as we hope,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I guess it is
Yeah, I
appreciated.
figured that one. Yeah, that was. But
Yeah.
Cool.
so carpet pythons, huh?
No, wrong show.
No, oh shit, right.
No, it's
This
carpet.
is
well, it
kidneys
is.
and
Yeah,
coffee.
shut up.
Yeah.
Listen, you. You're weird
Yeah, I mean,
pythons.
If you want to hang out, Travis, you can.
Yeah.
Whatever.
I mean,
man, cool.
if you want to have me, I'm always happy to chat. But if
Yeah,
you've got other topics that you don't want me in on, I don't mind stepping in.
Topics,
Well, I think
outlines,
there's-
It
plans.
depends. Whoa, now you've got the wrong show. So
Well, this is
Well,
what we're
sometimes
kind
you
of.
have like rough ideas.
listen,
of topics.
Eric writes a novel, and then Lucas and I ignore it, and then we do what we ever do. It's
I
fine.
They
never
do
ignore
that.
anything.
Stop.
No, I got
Then Eric says,
asked.
I've been thinking.
That's right.
I saw this thing today. Okay.
Here we go. Here you
I
go.
went on the Facebook. Oh, okay.
I saw these things and it says water.
They did say that when I was
Voodoo
doing
python.
Gumbo podcast. I said water python.
Oh,
and
I
they
know,
stopped
they
the
were
entire
busting my-
show. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Stop the entire
Yeah.
show. Said you
that
pronounced
was
it correctly.
that was quite entertaining.
I know.
Yeah, I stopped him for a couple minutes, and then I was just like, "No, I'm out."
I'm feeling personally attacked, and yeah, you left.
Oh. Erica requests that we talk about womas.
No, denied. Next. Well, wait,
That says worm snakes, man, not
I mean,
walrus.
you found Woma after
It
that? So
starts with a W and it's the shape of a worm. I don't know.
wait, Eric has Womas.
He's got that thing where he just automatically sees the word.
You connect.
Yeah.
Travis, you don't have Womas, right?
I don't have womas. I
There you
had
go.
a woma for a week when Bill Bradley dropped one off here because he was around my area and he needed to ship it off, and he had never shipped a snake before. And I was like, "Well, I can show you how to do that." And he just came and I was like, "I got a better idea. Why don't you just
Why don't you
leave me
just do
with the
it?
snake and
Oh.
I'll ship it for you." So I had a
Yeah.
woma here for about a week, and then it got shipped away.
Miss it? Any kind of want or need for it, or
No,
happy to
my
see it go?
Asphodite of choice is blackheads, and unfortunately,
allow
my
it.
girl, she suddenly passed on me. I came home one day and went down, was just doing my typical room check,
Yeah.
and I noticed she was behaving a little weird. And when I opened the door and got her out, about midway down her body, she was just flaccid paralysis, and I still have no idea what it was. I contacted my vet friend, and before he could even call me back, she passed. And that was a little bit traumatic for me, so I haven't gotten back around to picking up another one, just because that kind of thing fucks with your head a little bit sometimes.
There's
No
doubt.
there's one behind Lucas trying to get out.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Right now.
Yes.
Yeah, you can see it.
Right there. What are you doing?
Oh my
Yes,
God,
I did add
I
another
was trying to.
4-foot cage
How
right
thick of
here.
glasses do we need to get you now?
I was trying to bring up, you knucklehead,
was
this
a
thing,
transition.
Owen. Yeah, Owen always loves seeing. Owen, what is that?
Oh. No.
What?
Wait,
What is it?
wait, what is it?
I still
Hold
can't
on,
see
let
it,
me-
so
let
I
me-
don't know.
I don't.
Uh,
I
Let me
don't.
zoom in a bit.
I think I know what it is, but I don't want to.
Is that
Is-
a
is-
Brisbane?
No. Is that a mutt? Is that a mix? What is this?
That's
Oh!
that's a
Is it a hybrid?
yes.
What is
Carpanata.
Carpal.
Oh.
Carpanata.
it? No. What? It's a
Carpanata?
carpal?
Yes.
That's a
carpet ball
carpet ball python.
That
Right.
that doesn't look like a
That
carpet.
doesn't look like one.
Is that
That
the
looks like a
75% thing we were talking about last time?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, we went on during the Patreon stream, we went on a certain person's for sale website. They only 4 letters in their name and it spells nerd. But anyway, they shall remain nameless. And they had 75% carpals, which means they took a carpal and bred it to a carpet, and those were the babies. And it's just like, that's an ugly carpet python. That's what that is in my brain. Like my brain, I know it's wrong, but that's what it is. So
Yeah. I
well,
saw
they
that
also
about
have
an
a
hour
pair
ago.
of unrelated captive bred Bolin's python. $25,000.
but didn't they put a Bullens in with an olive?
Yeah.
I wouldn't doubt
I
it.
mentioned that to Melissa, and she's like, "Why?" I'm like, "I don't know."
What is the obsession with that shit? I don't get it.
That's why we can't have nice things.
I don't know.
Why haven't we bred a Bullens to a ball python yet? Will that break the world? Is that what does it? Is it the apocalypse?
That could be what breaks the world.
Got it.
Holy shit. If that happens, that'll be the end.
You know what's going to happen. They're going to hear this. The word is
And
going
they're
to
gonna
get
do
back
it.
to them, and the
It's
next
gonna
thing you
slowly
see in
work
one of their
around.
videos is going to
Yeah.
be a fucking ball python.
Oh, like they haven't thought of that yet.
It's going to
Like,
be a
can't blame
bumblebee
carpet.
Bolins.
Oh my god!
Bumblins.
It's a
Bumblebee
fat,
butter
weird-
Bolins?
It's a fat, weird-looking Bullens that twitches. It's like, yeah, I don't want it. Like, I don't.
Oh boy. So
Yes, I agree
let-
with Lori.
I'm
Just
pet
let
nerd,
the
but
animals
yeah.
be the animals they are.
yeah.
Oh my god! Yeah,
Why
there's
do we
no
have to play
reason.
God?
Ugh.
So what we're going to talk about at some point, but before we get into that, we'll talk about what's going on in our seasons and all that kind of stuff. But what we're going to talk about is I got a suggestion that they wanted us to go through all of the different carpet pythons that we've kept and give our experiences with them and rate them as far as like, do we expect less? No, Schmitty.
Why did they do this?
No.
Like, that is
No.
such a stupid idea. I'm going to stretch out for
No.
this. Go ahead.
What's a stupid idea? What I'm
Just-
saying to you?
No. Just the idea
No.
is like, what do you think of? Rate your things. Well, IJs are going to be so far down on the list for me. It's ridiculous. But yeah, go on.
So we're gonna judge them on things like the ease of care, your attitude, availability, ease of breeding, and then kind of see which one we like the best.
Mm.
So that way, if somebody's trying to get into carpet pythons, they kind of have an idea of what they're getting into, right?
Yeah, let me
Yeah.
They're
tell
all
you guys all
kind of the
about
same.
breeding diamonds and Darwins and inlands and
I mean, I'm
imbricata.
the real odd man out here because the only Morelia that I have is a chondro and breadlie. So
Oh, okay.
Breadlie
well,
counts. Do you
got
enjoy
breadlie.
the
I know
breadlie?
breadlie counts,
Yeah,
but chondro doesn't count. And
Where
you know,
would you put them? Which is better, the green tree or the breadlie?
That's easy.
Yeah, so your
Travis.
list is just faster than ours.
Yeah, my list is just faster than yours. I mean, for a beginner, breadlie, hands down.
Yes,
You think so?
100%.
Mm.
Yes,
Okay.
Very
I mean,
true.
they're-
And also for everyone else as well.
they're bomb proof. They
Yeah.
are literally bomb proof. You know, I don't know that you can keep them too hot. I don't know that you can keep them too cold. The only gripe that I have about any of the three that I have is my youngest one is the dumbest feeder on the planet. Like, I will give her a hopper mouse, and she will take the hopper mouse and she will constrict the hopper mouse.
Right.
And 20 minutes later,
believes
she
it.
will still be constricted around the hopper mouse, but she will be looking for more food.
Okay, yeah, she's.
I
not
can come
Wow.
back in an hour and the dead mouse is lying on the floor and she's still looking for food. So I could pick up the dead mouse and give it to her and she will constrict it. And an hour later, it's still on the floor and she's still looking for food. And we will do this for like 6 or 8 hours. And
Until
then
she
I
finally
either
eats
give
it.
up and throw the fucking thing away or then she finally eats.
Either the mouse has been squeezed so much it's just not good anymore.
It's just basically like a dead tube sock, and or she finally does eat it, and she's 3 years old, and she probably only looks like she's about 18 months old. She hasn't even gone through a color change yet
Yeah, somebody
Oh,
shook
wow.
that egg, unfortunately. So
because she just doesn't want to eat all the time.
Yeah.
But
There.
my other two are, they'll eat anytime, anywhere, any place.
Doesn't
inside,
matter.
outside, upside down.
Yeah.
There's always one in every clutch.
Oh, yeah,
you know
there
what I
is.
mean?
Yeah, there's always that
Herpy
one.
herps.
There's always the one.
Herpy herps.
always that,
Yeah.
always that one baby you're like, oh my God, you're stupid. Yeah.
Yeah, and Morelia are just or chondros are just ball pythons on a stick. I mean,
Yes.
I was going
thank
to
you.
say,
Finally.
how
God.
dare you?
I mean,
Magic.
no, I
Magic ball
love
pythons on a
I
stick.
love my chondro girl, but I mean I got to be honest. When I first met Julie, I had her tank in my room, and Julie had like been coming over for months and months and months before she even realized there was a snake in the cage because it just sits there.
It's like she sees it moving. Holy shit, it's real.
Yeah, no, she did. She saw it moving. She's like, "Oh, you actually have a snake in there." I just thought it was plants. I was like, "No, there's a snake in that cage." She knew that I had snakes. She just didn't realize that the cage in my room
That
also
one
had a
was,
snake.
yeah.
Schmitty's on fire. He's
Schmitty.
throwing cigars across the room.
He can't. Those are expensive. Yeah.
All right, he's throwing Baird's rat snakes then.
Yeah, you're right. Well,
They are not expensive.
no, I might need a new mail. I think mine's broken. So,
Well, good.
back to your own
Okay.
podcast then.
So we'll start with you, Owen. How's your breeding season going? Or how is your breeding season from last year going and still going?
No, we're done now. It
Did it ever
finally
end?
ended. It's over.
Yeah, it did end?
Free.
Okay.
Yeah, no. So far, I've been seeing so much freaking action from the false water cobra that
Okay.
I'm like, you know what's really cool is colubrid breedings, right? Oh, you're right, pythons. I have to pair those things still. So yeah.
Oh, and I have a confession.
You didn't put yours together, or
No, it's just that me and Zach have been talking about you and your falsies behind your back.
yeah.
And you are a little bit of a science experiment because usually they don't breed till like 3 or 4 years old.
Then
but
what's
we wanted to
happening
see
here?
what would
Because they're only
happen.
like 2.5 or something. Yeah.
You break your snakes again, Owen.
Owen thinks they're ball pythons.
I didn't break them. They ate, and now they're big enough, and apparently it's working.
We're both watching very eagerly.
Okay.
Show them, Owen. Show them how it's
exactly.
done.
You know, shut
I
up.
got faith in you.
So I did separate the roughies because the male looks like he's going to shed, so I'm going to put them back together. But I'm getting random locks from a couple different pythons. I did drop the temps a little bit, which turned off all the other pythons that weren't breeding from feeding. Thank God, because like that ring python would come for me every time, and now she's just kind of chill, and I'm cool with it. So for right now, we're just kind of working. I'm doing nothing but feeding up last year's stock because they're all still here, and transitioning a couple things over from like all the rhinos are on pinkies now. All the baby blonde mad hogs are on pinkies now, and working on those things too. So that's that.
Okay.
And then you want me to go through my Morelia?
Oh, geez. Do we have
Ask
time?
me.
I mean,
Ask
I
me.
don't know.
Do it.
Sure.
Number one is rough scale python, and then the rest don't matter.
Okay.
So it's
How's that working out for you?
Next question.
so,
Yes.
but I would say, as far as like if you're breaking it down, like coastal jungle IJ, coastal's number one for me just because they do get a little bit bigger. And a little bit more relaxed. I'm sorry. I know we're not going by the poster. Okay, calm down. Or the new literature.
What are you going through? Are you going through what you're breeding?
Yeah, what are you talking about?
I thought you were going through the grading of the Morelia stuff.
No,
We haven't done that
No,
yet.
never mind.
We're
All
not.
right.
We're at that segment yet.
Sorry,
Good
I
Lord.
didn't know we were going through
Eric,
that.
we got an
I'm like,
eager beaver.
he said
over
IJ.
here.
I knew something was
You
wrong.
knew- that
as soon
is
as I
true.
heard the word IJ,
I
I'm
count
like,
your
wait
IJs
a
as
minute.
mine at this point now. It's ridiculous. It's okay.
okay. Hold on. We had a question back here, real quick. Travis, are you feeding your smaller bredli rats or mice?
Yes. I will offer mice. I
Anything.
will offer rat pups. I've offered her quail. She does this to everything.
Weirdo.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes, indeed.
Very good. And then this is the trick that I always. I'm glad that. What do you call it? Where is it at? I lost it. Oh, here we go. So Pedrick, he was talking to me about breeding, and I told him to feed a little bit, and usually that like kind of kicks him into. I don't know why. Do ball pythons do that, Travis? Like if you feed them before you're breeding them?
It depends on the ball. I mean, at this
Okay.
point, most ball pythons will just breed when the hell ever.
Gotcha.
But with a lot of my girls, what I will see is even though they're being bred, you get them, like things will taper down, and then you throw a good sized meal at them, and suddenly the females will like immediately move to the cold side and start bull wrapping, and that's when you really see follicular development, is after they've been bred for a while and you hit them with something to eat. That's when they just blow up.
What,
Gotcha.
do you do any kind of temperature drop with a ball python? Because I know with my guys, when they come up in springtime and I hit them with a larger meal, that's when I start seeing locks everywhere. Is once like they warm up, everybody gets fed, and then it's just breeding across the board.
I don't do a real intentional temperature drop, but my room, just the nature of my room being in a basement,
It happens.
it sees a seasonal drop. But they don't, the hot spot. I'm not one of these people who keeps a 90-degree hotspot. I keep like an 85, 86-degree hotspot. So my animals are kept, cooler as it is normally. So when it's cooling down in the winter, it's cooling down.
Gotcha.
Wow.
I would like to address something in the comments.
Go ahead, Lucas.
Oh, okay.
Lori,
What are we doing here?
I have lots of Brettles with good temperaments, and I couldn't train them because I was doing a study for school. So that's it.
How
Excuses.
dare you, Lucas?
Yeah.
I mean,
no,
I'm just like,
listen,
come on,
the
now
bread
everybody,
light-
you're making it sound like all
the
my
bread light I
snakes
got
are
from him
mean
is a
and dumb.
bloodthirsty monster. Yeah.
I have plenty.
My
of
snakes are
nice
usually mean
Brettles.
if they go to Owen.
Yes.
My snakes are mean when they go to Owen's house.
They
You just
that's
felt a
because
little
Why
wounded
have you
right there in the
forsaken
chat.
me?
I gotta be
well,
honest.
that's because they're ravenous with hunger, and then they come here and it's food. Yeah. So
Okay, fair enough.
I train lots of snakes.
Are you? Ow, she said blah blah blah.
Dang.
Travis, are you doing any breedings this year?
I'm pairing a couple of ball pythons up. I just started pairing my mainland kukris again.
Ooh, nice.
Get some more of those little vicious, toothy bastards out there.
I don't want them. I don't want kukris. I don't.
They're not gigantic though. They're small, but they'll bite you, and they're brown and they're mean. They're
You
foul
telling me
tempered.
it's an ugly brown snake with weird teeth?
It's right
that
up
can
your
bite you?
alley.
I mean,
basically, it's a false water cobra that only gets to be about 2 feet
stop
long.
selling. You've hit gold. Like I don't. Yeah. Show it to me.
My my beak snakes are together all the time, so they may go, they may not. I've got 1.2 calabar. They're all together in a 8-foot cage. One of the females is looking really thick, and
Nice.
now's about the time. So I may have succeeded with them, but I wouldn't know because it's a very heavily covered up, lots of ground cover for them, and they're pretty secretive most of the time. So if I succeeded with them, it was mostly just because I let them do whatever the hell they wanted to do and left them alone.
Mm-hmm.
Which, when you shut up and let a species do what a species wants to do, it does what it wants to do.
Yeah, get
That
out of
is
its way,
the-
right?
Again, that's my theory of get me out of here, get me out of the way, and then maybe I'll the snakes will be snakes, and have success that way. So
Yep.
cool.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Those would be
You're
interesting.
not. You're not worried about the ball python. What is it? The
ball python a couple of
yeah.
ball apocalypse or whatever that's going on right now, or
I mean, I breed more for my own projects, and I just sell off or get rid of the surplus. However, so I'm not, freaking out over. I still have some of the last year's breedings I'm not panicking over the fact that they haven't sold, because if they just end up sitting in a rack for me, that's fine too. They're not exactly what I wanted for my projects, but they're good looking snakes, and eventually somebody will want them, even if it means that I'm, giving them away to a friend's kid or something,
Right.
You also don't have an aircraft hangar full of ball pythons, so it's
Right.
okay for you to, yeah.
Yeah, it's not a huge, and like when I say I'm putting together, I'm pairing 3 animals, so I'll
Okay.
end up with maybe 20 babies, maybe.
Right.
Very unlikely that I'll even get 20, but
Yeah.
it's not going to kill me. And
Well, what's your average clutch size? Is like 8, 10, something like that, or is that a little bit on the higher side?
that's a little bit on the higher side. Mine, over the years, I've been averaging about 5 to 7.
Okay.
So
Cool.
How about
it's not
I
not terrible.
No.
I must ask too, how's the scrub with your daughter? How's she liking it?
She likes it, but she made the mistake of letting it see her fear. And so whenever she opens his cage, he cocks himself up and he lets her know that it's his cage, and he will take her face off if she reaches in there. But if he sees me, he knows that I don't care and I don't buy into it, and I'm gonna just reach in there and grab him. And so he tries to run away from me and spray shit on me, because that's what they do when they don't.
It sounds like a scrub. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
it's
two
scrub.
ways. Either I'm going to try to bite your head off, or I'm going to try to, yeah. Cool.
But she still really likes him, and he's
Cool.
He's a fun little monster, despite
Yeah.
the peeing on you when you get him out. But
No.
Snake
it's what
squeeze.
it is.
Yeah.
I like it enough that I'm trying to find a female, because
Okay.
Tannenbars, they're another one of these, like,
Tannenbars.
you
Okay.
blink and they disappeared out of the hobby. And
Yeah.
I didn't even have time to blink. I got in the hobby and they're not real. They're unicorns.
they're out there, but they're rare as hen's teeth. So I'm
normal
trying to find a girl, just because
normal
I
colored
would
pattern
like to try and help.
it's the normal colored patterned Tannenbar is a myth. We never see, like, it's gone now forever.
And mine is a patterned axanthic.
Yeah.
So
See,
at
you need
least I've got the
normal
pattern,
Ooh.
but
I've seen one normal colored patterned, and I'm like, this is cooler than all the other ones.
and
So,
they're real cool.
Yeah.
That's a rare one. The whole patterned.
Pattern pattern. I like the patterns.
I was gonna ask. Wait a minute. What did you just say? Oh, and you said something, and it triggered something, and now I'm forgetting. Maybe Lucas said it.
I don't know
Damn
what's
it,
going
what'd
on
I
here,
do?
Dad.
Lucas said
What did you-
there's always been a myth to him.
No, this is what I was gonna ask. Lucas
Yeah, I
said that
said
he
they're
got into the
unicorns.
hobby and he didn't even see it, right?
Yeah.
Who even
Yeah.
works with him? Who works with him? I don't even know who works with him anymore.
Doesn't
Nick probably
Steve-
has some.
I
in
thought
his-
Steve had some Tannenbars, and I know didn't Nick have some Tannenbars?
Nick doesn't have Tannenbars anymore. I asked
Oh,
him.
okay.
Damn.
Never mind.
I
I got to
believe
rub that in.
Chris
He's going to be so
has
mad.
I believe Chris has a couple.
Fully.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know Dustin Grant's got a couple.
Ah,
Oh, does he? Okay.
Yes.
Dustin Sleeper Collection also has more
Yeah.
Mertens now.
Yeah, Dustin's got a lot of, like, things that people just don't know he has.
Yeah.
I occasionally hear about other people who are like, I've got one or I've got two. If you're in the scrub group on Facebook, which I generally am not really bouncing around Facebook all that often, but every once in a while I'll pop into that group just to see what's going on, and somebody will post up like Tannenbar Tuesday, and it's like, I hate you because you've got a lone Tannenbar and I want that Tannenbar that you have. But
that doesn't help if everybody's got one and they're all spread out through the country. I hear you need 2 of them to get babies.
Yeah, and obviously I kind of fall into the same boat, because it's like, well, but I don't want to give up mine to somebody else to try and get more. But part of that is because I'm not a huge part of the scrub community, so I really don't know a lot of these guys, and I don't just want to give up an animal to somebody I don't actually know. And I understand the flip side, that nobody just wants to give up an animal to me because they don't know me.
Right.
Yeah.
But I would hope that some of the other people in the scrub community who do know each other and have Tannenbars would be trying to, look at getting these things paired together, because they're just getting rarer and rarer, it seems.
Patternless. Yeah.
Yeah, that was one of mine. That was the last one I had. It was a golden Tannenbar boy. I think I
got
sold
slug.
it to. That's why
There
I'm
it
leaving
is.
it up.
Wow, that's pretty.
Jim.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a pretty snake. Jim, what's his name? Karosky, the guy that used to own MP.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had
Very
the
cool.
I had the Tannenbars for a hot minute when Chris was in the middle of moving and all that fun stuff. I had his Tannenbars, and I did get slugs out of the one female the one time. So that's the closest I've come to producing scrubs. So
That's a shame.
this is like these things suck. I don't want them anymore. Yeah.
What about your season, my man? How's the Woma
season-
pythons coming along?
I'm very, very happy, very excited.
Lots of womas, huh?
3 womas
Couple
ovulated,
blackheads, maybe.
Nice.
2 of which have shed, 1 of which
Nice.
will shed, but is not supposed to have yet. So nothing is wrong. Things just take time.
Where are the scissors?
Shut up! Shut up!
I'm a shedder right now. Where are the scissors?
No, let's talk about that in 2023. Anyway, yeah, and so then there's a 4th Woma pairing that might go as well, but she's a little smaller. The previous owner kept her pretty small, but she's a 2014, so it's like maybe, like snake's old, but she's small.
Right.
Eastern blackhead, I felt some ping pong balls, and she refused food, which she never does.
Okay.
That's
Which
good
makes
sign.
me pleased.
Yeah.
Makes me very pleased. Nothing from the westerns, but they were very behind last year.
It's still early.
So- very early,
Yep.
yes. Started cooling Brettles and diamonds. Not cooling diamonds to breed, but cooling them because I want them to live.
Like
Yeah.
yours aren't old enough. Like it's
Me and Owen are doing an experiment to see if
yeah, if you can breed your diamonds at this age. Yeah. We've been talking
Yes.
we're
behind
wondering
your
if
back.
Lucas
Yeah.
can breed the diamonds before the diamonds are of age.
Oh, I see what you did. That's a callback to
yeah.
earlier.
Oh,
Yes, it's a callback to earlier.
To
We're
the
like, what is he, on a
conversation.
delay
Yeah.
or something?
Yeah. Wow, man.
I'm
Uh,
guys, it's Friday. I'm burnt. I don't know. I'm sorry. Leave me alone.
nah,
Uh,
you're all good.
I work really hard. No. Just kidding. I don't.
No. Mm.
What else? Got some oscillated skinks, which are really fun.
Pass.
Just like, no, it's really fun.
I
You can feed
said-
them with.
I said pass.
I don't care what you've said. Can feed them by hand with like dog food on a chopstick. It's a good time.
Weird.
What else am I breeding? I don't
have
think.
the-
I mean,
don't
it's
you have
mostly
those-
the Womas.
You have the
The
garter
Lake
snakes, or what is
Chapalas, yeah, the Lake
Yeah.
Chapala girl is looking pretty thick, but they like never stop locking up, and they are like the biggest garter snake ever, so they always look thick. So I don't know. Remember last time she just was pooping out babies while I was
I
eating
was gonna say, didn't they
breakfast,
just like erupt and you're like, I don't. Oh God.
Yeah, no, I
He
panicked.
was sipping on some coffee.
Do
carpet
you
scent
have a
coffee.
cage where the glass panes are not wide enough apart for little baby garter snakes to
Yeah,
sneak out?
please,
Of?
God,
Yes,
don't do
they're
that.
in like
That's
a
a bad
super
idea.
old school glass 40-gallon breeder sliding mesh top.
Okay.
Yes.
Just thinking it would be real
planted.
bad to come home and be sitting at the table
That
eating
is-
dinner and see a garter snake crawl across the floor and be like, well, shit.
That
know,
is
I
how I
did
ended up in a
have-
basement full of Arudo vipers. So
Ooh,
yeah.
that's worse. That's worse.
Yes.
But no, I did have a baby Florida blue striped garter get out in the past, and it was missing for about a month, and then it showed up in my dog's water bowl, just soaking. So
All right. Easy.
Jason
Yeah.
Earl has them now.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh my goodness. But I've been on a weird fish thing. I have
What about
three
your-
I
fish
saw
tanks
that.
now.
What about your
Yeah.
Ackies though? Aren't they?
Ackies, my lizard
Is that just a
partner and
constant
I
breeding?
gave our adults to a friend.
Okay.
So I have babies from the last clutch, but that will be the end of Ackies at my house for now.
Okay.
Yeah, they're great,
Yeah.
but
So
I think there's only
Lizards.
room for one lizard in my life. And that's the Kimbos.
We
I
don't
do like
count
the
the, we
geckos I
don't
got
count
from
the skink.
Dustin. Yeah.
Mm.
What's that?
We don't count the
Oh,
skink as a lizard.
That's my wife's pet.
Oh, okay.
That's
Nice.
not, that's not
Him?
mine.
No.
I say
She
the olive
took it over.
pythons are my girlfriends. It's nice. Like
Yeah.
responsibility
It's hers.
gone.
She's like, I really like this one. Look, it licks its tongue on the window. And I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, he does.
Look, it comes over to me when I come to the cage. I'm like, yeah. Okay, very cool. Look, I can hold it. It's like a snake with little feet. It looks like a dashhound.
Talk about snakes with little feet.
I mean, she's
Oscillated
not wrong.
skinks.
She's not wrong.
It's
Yeah.
it's the reptilian world version of a dachshund.
Yeah. I think she has a thing for small things. Hobbits.
I wasn't
Blue
going to
tongue
say it,
skinks
but you
and
know,
dachshunds.
clearly she's got a type. Yeah.
Clearly. So wait a minute. Somebody told Lisa that
Blackheads could be
them
9
bars
feet
get
long.
9 feet long.
What are we talking about? Which species?
Tannenbars?
Blackheads or wombats?
No.
No, not
Oh,
tannenbars.
tannenbars.
I was literally
Lisa,
talking about
what
blackheads.
are you
Lisa,
discussing?
what is
Oh,
9
wait.
feet long?
Maybe I'm telling you something wrong, Lisa. I thought you were talking about tannenbars. Blackheads, yeah, they're probably 10 feet long.
Yeah, blackheads
Wombats
can
are
get
what?
there.
6,
Yeah.
7?
Blackheads can get there, but it's kind of the same way that coastal carpets can get there.
Right.
Should they
Yeah.
get
Yes.
there is
Thank
the
you
other
for
question.
saying it for me,
Yeah.
Travis.
Yes.
That's
People
it.
get tired
my
of hearing
girl,
me say
my
it.
girl was 8 feet long. She was every inch of 8 feet
Yeah.
long, but she also, was only about as big around as a Coke can. So
Okay.
The
it
king,
wasn't
the
an
skinks
obscene
can get 9 feet
monster of a
long.
creature.
Yeah.
We were
Lisa.
I was
Lisa, focus. What can get 9 feet long?
This is
I
a
think she
live
must-
show.
I think she probably tuned in later and it's like on a you know what I mean?
It's
on
just
the
some sort of
Like
delay.
every time
Yeah.
Scott is commenting. Yeah.
Yeah, that happened to me when I was watching Snakes and Stogies. I'm like, what the hell is going on? Like, it's not adding
Acknowledge
up.
me, damn it. Just,
The chat is not where you guys are. What's going on? I can't keep track.
I do
So,
I do
yeah.
have something
What do you got?
non-breeding related that I can
Go
share.
ahead.
yeah.
Yeah. Actually, no, I'm not going to share it. I'm going to keep it secret.
You
Aha,
wanna-
that's a teaser.
You want to be a dancer. I mean, like, come just
No,
it's a
never
safe
mind.
place here. Tell us what
Yeah.
you want.
I thought
Is it
better
your-
of it.
Is it the secret we know?
The secret but I thought better of it, and I should wait until they exist in my home.
Correct.
Correct.
Even then, maybe wait for a bit.
Yeah,
That
see, you
unveiled
guys are
some-
agreeing with my choice to
Yes.
shaft the
Good
audience.
choice, Lucas.
Yeah, they don't
Yes.
need to know. They don't know half the shit I got going on over here. Eric
called
doesn't know half the
cliffhangers.
shit I got going on over here.
Carpet
So-
I
cliffhangers.
didn't until I came and visited you.
Yeah,
not
then
too
he-
long
he's
ago,
like, "Why
and then
did
I
you do
saw into that crazy place you call home. I'm like, what has happened?
What have you
There's
done?
squirrels, turtles, retics. I don't know what to do.
What happened to you?
There's like a herd of cats.
No
There's
one
some
would
kind
know
of
what
big
to do.
dog.
Yeah. Listen, to say that I've lost control is an understatement. So
I have pea puffer
No,
fish.
but at least you've got a wife who enables you and doesn't,
she is the worst because we leave Eric's and she's like, we don't have diamond pythons. I'm like, no, we don't. Why don't we have diamond pythons? I don't know how to answer this question. Like, I don't. Yeah.
I'm breeding Stimson's pythons just to give them all to
No,
you.
no, all of them. No, she can't hear this.
Yes. I'm not even going to go to you. I'm just going to
Just
say,
gonna go over my head. Yeah, that's what.
Hello.
That's what other buddy does now. Like,
Yep.
it's just.
just bypassing you. buddy.
Yeah. Smart.
All right. You ready to talk carpet?
but
I
you haven't
guess.
told
All
us
right,
what
let's
you're
start.
breeding.
yeah,
other than
Eric.
Stimson's pythons.
I'm not. Well, diamond pythons, which
I'm not breeding, just diamond pythons, IJs, Russian red tigers, like
Russian red tigers.
and
hopefully
and
inlands.
coastals.
Maybe. He's like, I hate you. The big ones are Russian tigers. I want to get those back on the
Yeah,
ground.
please God,
So Russian tigers,
diamonds.
diamond pythons, inland pythons,
There was the
poison ivy stuff. See what happens with that. And there is one more that was a big one. Oh, I'm gonna do a citrus tiger, like the original stuff because I was on Morph Market and I'm looking at Will Bird and he put up these pictures of these citrus tigers and they just look terrible, man. I'm just like, oh my God, Will, I got to get you some good looking citrus tigers back in your hands, man.
Well,
This is just terrible.
I mean, I'm not sure how much he did beyond his original stuff. And we always say that
I bought them all.
Exactly.
He
That's
said-
the problem.
he
You took
said,
everything.
I-
He
it
had
was your
nothing to
fault.
do. Like,
I didn't work them.
there were no holdbacks. You took them all.
I took them
it-
all.
Yeah.
All of them.
But the issue then is like we always talk about the first zebras, like that is fugly. Like you need some refinement before it to come out.
But see,
good.
well, maybe you can, since we do have Travis here, right? This would be my
do.
question, right? I do think, right, that there is something to what Will was trying to say about the citrus tigers, but I don't think it's like a morph, but there's definitely a different look, right? So it's kind of like there's certain ones in the clutch that look like what we would call citrus tiger, real, like that yellow orange and like that gray, like what would you call it? Faded, pixelated side patterns with the saddles, and the black is real black. And then there's other ones that are like, So, I mean, I guess it's just like selective breeding, no? I mean, isn't that like a polygenic type of thing? Am I wrong?
I mean,
kind of. Maybe.
There's a genetic component to it, obviously,
Right.
and yeah, it's just a matter of how you're selecting to maintain those
Yes.
genetic traits, and then yes, by putting them all together in one animal, you've got a polygenetic animal.
Okay.
So, I know he got a lot of shit in the early days about that being some kind of like,
Did he get so much
I think
shit
it was-
just because it was?
I think he was calling it like a gene. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It was
like I mean, the problem
new
with that
gene
is
of carpet pythons, citrus tigers, and everybody
exactly
was
there were so
out
many people
running,
back
like,
in the day that would just get a weird looking snake and they're like, clearly this is a new morph, and then nobody did like the work to establish it or prove it.
Right.
Well, and in some respects, I mean, he's not entirely alone in that because everybody calls tiger a gene, and tiger isn't a gene.
Yeah.
We know that tiger is also a poly. So,
Right.
he's not, he wasn't wrong because he was following a trend in that regard. Now, the citrus aspect, he may be a little bit more wrong on, but then that just comes to like, the highlighter type jungles. They're highlighter jungles because they look highlighter yellow, but that was through all the selective breeding that made them that way. It was the selective breeding that made them citrus. So it's a morph, but it's not just a simple one gene, one morph that everybody's used to. It's all polygenetic.
Right.
So what would be the proper way to say that? Would that be more like a line than a morph, like a gene type of thing? I mean, I know it's genes, but like
it would be more appropriate to call it a line.
Okay.
So it's like the citrus line of tigers, and the tiger is attached to,
or just the citrus tiger line. The same way you've got the Balin tiger line and the Russian tiger line, and like they're all tigers. They're just different lineages of them.
Right.
If
everything
you breed a Balin to a Russian, you're gonna get tigers.
You do,
right?
Because it's
You get
basically
nice
the same stuff. It's just
right.
That's my favorite now. Is like I have one animal that is like, it has I think Peterson stripe in it, Russian tiger blood in it. It's got Balin tiger blood in it, and it looks like a gorgeous looking tiger. And I'm like, it has all the stripes combined into one.
It's the tiger six pack.
Yeah, get them all into one animal. What's it look
you
like?
just need to get citrus tiger in there.
Yeah.
Keep going.
I'll hook
keep
you
adding
up.
tiger.
Man. I know a guy. Yeah.
Cool.
So anyway, that's kind of what I'm doing. Nothing special, nothing crazy.
What the?
Oh, please.
Nothing special, nothing crazy. Diamonds.
Yeah, I think
inlands?
diamonds are pretty special.
Yeah, the Russian tigers.
to me,
back in
but,
the hobby. No, nothing
yeah.
special.
I don't know. Well, let's talk about diamond pythons, Owen. What do you think about their care? How would you rate them?
Being that I've murdered the two that I had, not good.
Difficult?
It's a little hard.
No,
So-
Let me ask this question: would you think
Well,
you can
I'm
circle
sorry.
back now that you're a colubrid guy?
Yes,
Again?
I'm saying not difficult if you know what you're doing. I had some advice where it was the keep it like a normal Morelia, just keep it low on the rack, which I don't agree with now. I think more and more of what you do, what Lucas does, what other diamond keepers do, where it's almost like you keep them in a separate room, different temps. Heating element is a light, and that seems to be what really works for them best. Is the best way to do it. So if I could do diamonds again, I would do it completely different.
Yeah, see,
Okay.
when you said that you had problems with them, I was very confused there for a minute because I would think that you would excel.
He wasn't a colubrid guy
I,
yet.
Yeah, I
Even
wasn't.
with
I
all
was. I
your
wasn't
experience
there.
with breadlie too. Like,
Yeah.
I would say that they're like maybe a half step off from breadlie already because you basically have to put breadlie out in the Pennsylvania
Yes.
winters
Yeah.
Yes.
to get them to do anything.
I am deep sixing 2 of my breadlie out with my other pythons that I'm very mean to, but the other one is a female that had eggs last year, and I'm taking her down to normal carpet python temps. Like I'm not going lower because she's having the year off. So her year off, it's like 70 something, 60 something. Like you kind of dip down into that because she's in the lower cage. She's still on point, ready to murder anything that comes in that cage. So it's, yeah, her vacation is normal coastal breeding temps. So,
Okay. I'll go. Diamond pythons for me were a little bit of a, I had to rethink the way I did it. And I had to retrain my brain with carpets, right? Because they're completely different than keeping carpets.
yeah.
But once you sort of, I guess it's similar to what people say about chondros. Like once you have them dialed in, it's kind of like you're kind of golden, you know. But you can't get them too hot, even ambient temperatures. They just have to have a hot basking spot, and then you just adjust the time, the length of the time that you have for them to bask.
Yeah.
That's how I approach it. In
I
a
would do it a
perfect
lot
world,
differently.
I'd keep them outside. In a perfect world.
If we were just a little bit further south. Yeah.
Yeah. What about you, Lucas? What's your
I
thoughts?
agree. I mean, I would say know what you're capable of in terms of cooling, like based on your location, your home,
Mhm.
you know. I kind of got to establish a routine with the Brettles first where I knew that I could get stuff reliably down into low 50s, high 40s because I'm that guy sometimes. And so once I knew that was the case, that's when I decided it's okay to try diamonds. You know, it's like,
Yeah.
if you are able to do that, it's not hard. And if anything, that's easier because you don't have to worry about replacing bulbs as much. And I think it's a lot easier if you live somewhere where the temperatures are in the right range. It's easier than trying to keep something hot to just let it be cold, right? Like let nature win.
Yeah. Okay. Have you worked with diamonds at all, Travis? Ever?
I
Handled them,
haven't.
anything? No.
You know, I like the look of them, but it's not even an intimidation thing. It's just when I was thinking about getting into, you know, more into Morelia, I was tossing back and forth between them and breadlie, and just the red of the breadlie won me over. So
Gotcha.
that's the way I fell, and that's where I'm happy with my little breadlie group.
Yeah. Heck yeah.
What stabs me is that I used to have to I used to go up to the White Plains show, and Eric would have somebody meet me and they'd hand me like a reduced pattern diamond python to courier back to him, and I'm like, oh my god, like in my hand, and then I have to hand it off to Eric. So
yeah. I did that too a few times.
Twice.
Okay. Attitude wise, I would say that I don't know. My diamonds are pretty chill. I think they're a little bit on the food. What would you call it? I don't want to say aggressive. I don't know what the word is.
Food oriented.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's a good one.
Yeah.
Hangry.
Also good.
How about you?
That's my
Same thing?
Calibars or my Candoya.
Oh,
Of
yeah.
the trio that I've gotten to work with, only one of the three is only one
no,
of the
you're
three is
good.
nippy.
Okay.
I think
Are they still small or older?
The nippy one is small.
Small. Yeah. I think
Yeah.
all small carpets are nippy.
This is true.
I
Yeah.
think any kind of python that can kind of take some colder temps may have the perception of being nippy, just because, like, I remember the first couple times I was breeding my bredli, I was going into their cage expecting them to be like shut down and curled up like my coastals, and then I got like bit on the hand. It's like, I think sometimes you just expect them to be like shut down or kind of coiled up, and they're just like, no, they're ready to go. It's like, okay,
Right.
so
Yeah. I think yeah, I don't know. I've never really like I said, I think they're once you're kind of like once you have them out, once they come out, I just kind of like as I'm cleaning the cages or whatever, I just open the glass, they just come out and let them cruise around. I clean the cage, they go back in, It's kind of like
diamond.
But yeah. Okay. Attitude, availability, they're not really that available.
I
I don't know
mean,
why.
they used to be a lot more available, but I know that there are some breeders who were consistently producing diamonds that have either gotten out of it or shifted to other things. So I'd say that I mean, a lot of the other same people, a lot of the big guys who are constantly working with diamonds are still around, but I'd say the number has definitely gone down.
I think it's one of those ones. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah. Go ahead. No. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I think it's one of those ones where, if you're waiting for somebody to post one up on Morph Market for you, you're just gonna be waiting forever. But if you know who's producing them and you get in touch with them ahead of time, you can get them.
I mean, if you're waiting for somebody to post something on Morph Market, you're going to get those, like the last 4 in the clutch that are still kicking around by the end of the year. Like, you're not going to get like these babies are ready to go. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like they are available if you know who to ask.
Right.
I think as far as people that I know that are breeding them, people that come to mind for me are guys like Josh Easter, Dave Kelly, Kime,
Terry
Burwell. Yeah. I know Todd used to do them, but they don't do anything anymore. I know Nick produced the clutch, right? Didn't he produce a clutch of diamonds?
He did. I don't think the babies did too well, but yeah.
I know Jason Balin has a couple adults that he got recently. He got them as adults, and then they also came with their last clutch of babies. So I know potentially he's going to have some this year, maybe.
Okay, Brian Hayes, he's an up and comer. He's got a nice group of diamonds, and then I can't believe I'm forgetting his name. He's in Florida, Tampa Snakes. He was on the show. He does diamonds,
right?
And of course, Martin as well.
Yep,
Martin Rosemond. Yeah.
There's now that we're naming them, there's a good amount of people. But then again, it's not everybody's going to have success every single year with a bunch of babies. So
I think out of the entire Morelia carpet python world, they're probably, I don't mean this in a negative way, but they're probably like the stuffiest of us, like really hardcore into
contra people
lineage, and if it has any kind of like question mark at all,
burn it.
How dare you?
Cypress Creek, how dare you let it look at this pure San Diego Zoo.
Scott over a picture of a diamond, like, that's bullshit. Like that's not a locality, but
that's not a diamond. This is a diamond. Yeah. So
this was an interesting question. Are we breeding possible amount of breeding depression issues with diamonds?
I don't think so, because as much as we like to say that there are a bunch of separate lines of diamonds, we've kind of already proven that a lot of these places got their diamonds all at the same time, which is weird, and all from the same person. With the exception of maybe hold on, with the exception of maybe a few. So there's not really that much of a thing here to say. I almost feel like if we were going to see it, we would have already seen it by now, because diamonds have been being produced in this country since like what, 70s, 80s?
I don't want the DPP coming after us.
It's
you
all
know what
right.
I
They'll be
mean?
fine.
The,
It'll be okay.
the Diamond
okay.
Python police are gonna,
Diamond
they're
listen,
gonna be
listen. If we haven't pissed them off yet at all,
yeah,
it's not a good season of NPR. So.
yeah. No, I don't know. I guess my feelings have kind of called back and forth with that. I just think that like, I just don't like I'm trying to get away from the idea of new people coming into the hobby and like they feel so excited that they got this diamond python and what they were told was diamond python, and everybody's like, get that piece of shit out of my boy. You know what I mean? It's just like, man, it's still a snake. It's still alive. What the hell? But okay, diamond pythons. I guess they're somewhat okay. I love them, but coastal carpets. Now, I should preface this by saying that we're going by the U.S. ways of what herpetoculture has always had. I know that, the book has changed and blah, 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 but we're talking about what we used to call coastal carpet pythons.
We're using the default presets from 2020.
Yes. Yes, exactly.
Yes. Go back to the original, the circa this time. Yeah.
Well, I think that's the right way to talk about it as far as the hobby goes, right?
Agreed.
I mean, it's not like all of a sudden, I don't know. Okay. Coastal carpets. Go ahead, Owen. You're the coastal carpet king.
Okay.
Or you used to be. You've been dethroned.
I still am. Thank you very much.
I'm coming for you.
Damn. I preferred coastals over a lot of things, especially because I know when I first got into it, I was told the jungles can have a little bit more of an attitude, which I don't. That's kind of a myth. I would say that maybe jungle babies are a bit nippier, but I kind of almost feel like that's a myth as well. It's roll of a dice.
I don't know,
animal.
man. Tiger carpets can be pretty goddamn.
Yeah,
nippy.
but say I have a couple coastals that are a-holes. Like it's. So I always like the coastals. They do get a little bit larger. I would say they get bigger, easier. You'd have to really push a jungle or an IJ to get to coastal size. Also, you'd be killing it. As far as temperament wise, I have some that maybe have a little bit of an attitude, but nothing I would be concerned about. It's more along the lines of like what you're talking about with the diamonds. It's like they're looking for food. They know my routine. They know what the sound I make when I open the door. And the first thing they're trying to see is if it's food, and that's easy. We just kind of tap them with the hook and it turns off pretty quickly. What are some of the other things on there? Care,
availability,
basic care of any kind of carpet python. Coastals fit right into that mark. You don't even necessarily need to drop them too far. I've gotten eggs from pairs that I've only dropped into the 70 or lower. I would say that the availability, they're everywhere. They're coastals everywhere. So again, I think if it's a little bit rarer to see the true coastals now or the Brisbanes, just because I'm not sure how many people were really kind of buying into that before that all got changed over. So, but yeah, there are other coastals all over the place and all different colors.
Oh yeah.
There's things, Eric, they're called morphs. One's a jaguar, one's a tiger, and they can be combined into something called a tiger jaguar.
Jag?
Yes.
How about that?
Then you can add a bunch of colors on top of that jaguar, tiger, and tiger jaguar into various other mixes. Like you can get a super caramel tiger jaguar. So
please tell Travis Wyman more about genetics.
I'm trying. He won't return any of my emails anymore.
Lori said that she recently got one from you, Owen.
Yes, she got the only Brisbane that I I'm sorry. I let two Brisbane males go out of my 3 baby Brisbane that I hatched this year.
What the hell?
I kept a girl.
I'm just saying, like you didn't say, like, "Hey, Eric, want the male?
You want a Brisbane? I'll get you a Brisbane. You got to wait another year."
Okay.
Come on. But yeah, I had the 3 Brisbane. I sold 2 boys, and I kept the girl because the girl is perfectly striped. So she looks like a tiger. Okay. So I'm going to call her a Brisbane tiger.
and I'm going to breed her, and I'm going to label it Brisbane Tiger, and I'm going to watch Nick Mutton grow hair so it can turn white with rage, and then he can lose it all immediately. So,
But see, why would Nick do that? Because didn't he do the
with the Tiger IJ, exactly.
Yeah, I was gonna say, was it the Tiger IJs or the Tiger Darwins?
No,
I couldn't
Tiger
remember,
Darwins.
but
You're right. It was
he
the
did
Tiger
the same.
Darwin.
He did the same thing, and
Yep.
everybody got pissed at him for doing it. He's like, "Look, it's a striped IJ, just like everything else. So why wouldn't I call it this?"
Yeah. He wanted to jump in on the tiger bandwagon. I know.
Yeah.
He's right.
So I kept her, and I was thinking about keeping her, and then you were like, "If you get rid of that animal, Owen, I will beat you to death." And I'm like, "Okay."
Yes.
And then everything got changed, and I'm like, "All right, well now I have to keep her." So
Yeah. Okay. What about you, Lucas? Have you dealt with coastal carp?
Coastals. I had the one, sent it to Owen.
Okay, enough said.
what
Yep.
was that?
Oh wait, well I guess my granite jag. Nah, never
Has
mind.
coastal
Next.
in it?
Mm,
It's a mixture of
I
the.
had a mongrel back when I lived in Atlanta
did
that I
you?
picked up at a show.
Uh-huh.
That, I mean, I call it a mongrel because I had no lineage info on it, but it was
right.
probably some kind of coastal. It was
Something
really
coastal in there.
nice, you know.
Yeah.
It had a lot of really nice colors to it. But when I moved from Atlanta up here, I cut back on a lot of animals, and that was one of the animals that I left behind.
Right. Gotcha. I think for us here on the East Coast where we're at, I think from like us to like Maryland, probably maybe it's like the sweet spot for coastal carpets. I
It
think.
seems to be what the majority of us breed.
Yeah. I think we
in
do
this
well with
area.
them because it's kind of like their, we
Well-
got humidity, we got cold, we got
Yeah.
seasons, that kind of thing.
It also
So,
didn't help that
think
the
they-
main breeders in the area were like Balin, Ted Thompson. Like we had a bunch of coastal people in our area too. So
yeah.
availability.
I think that they're pretty much, care's pretty straight ahead. It's pretty simple, standard Python type of stuff, hot spot of like 85. They can take, low temps. Depending on where you're at, some people keep them outside. Chuck, he's out there on the West
Yep,
Coast.
yep.
He's keeping them outside. So that, that's pretty cool.
I wish I
think-
could.
My favorite thing about coastal carpets is like when you're breeding them, even if you're breeding normals, you're going to get something wacky that punches out of the clutch. It's you always get this odd ones, aberrant pattern or crazy looking or color or whatever. Very variable. I think that's the pretty much the cool stuff of carpets. I don't think that I've ever had anything with getting them to eat. I've never had any issues with switch over. I've never had anything like that. Can we get the inlands? Yes, we will.
Yes.
I think availability is pretty much out there, and breeding is pretty straightforward, at least here on the East Coast. All right, let's do jungle carpets. I'll start with that. Jungle carpets, yeah, I mean, they're probably the most available, I think. I would say
Everybody
that they're
likes black and
probably
yellow.
the most
Yeah.
popular. I mean, and come on, it's hard to beat, black and yellow blinding away. I think people like, man, there's so many people. Andrew Paris comes to mind right away. I think of Christian Parr. He has amazing collection. Riley, he has.
Riley
awesome
just got
stuff.
that new one from Mike
Curtin.
Yep.
He has amazing jungles. I know I'm forgetting people. I'm trying to think who else that has like crazy jungle carpets. Who are we forgetting, Owen? I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know. There's a whole bunch of different lines. There's all kind. I mean, I don't know. They just seem to be the most popular, which for me was why I didn't really jump into that thing. I was looking for the unpopular carpets and trying to put them more on the map. I find them to be nippy when they're babies. I think they chill out as adults, but usually for some reason, zebra, man, I don't know, man. They like have a fire gene in them or something. They want to kill you all the time.
Yeah.
In my experience. Oh, okay, I missed that.
Yeah, I missed that.
Got to be a little bit faster. So
Did you do that?
yeah.
Oh, way to go, co-host.
Do they comment
On the
something?
ball.
Nothing. Don't
Yeah,
worry about it.
yeah.
No,
Okay,
All right.
Yeah.
I don't know. What's your
Honored that my name wasn't included. No.
Probably.
Well, you had no. Hold on. Oh, yeah. I mean, you have those beautiful highlighter jungles. I think they're amazing. Produce amazing clutch.
Yeah.
You know.
Sorry, I was
Martin.
talking about the thing that got blocked.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah,
Your
Martin-
jungles.
Martin
my
Morelia,
jungles are present.
Rosemont. Yeah, he has really nice stuff. You like jungles, Lucas? How you feel about them?
I do.
That's a no.
I do. I like them, but they would not be. If I could only keep 5 things, they probably wouldn't stay on the boat.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Okay.
they're one of those. They're beautiful. They're great, but you know, they're just kind of.
Gotcha.
That's what they are.
Owen, how do you feel about jungles?
I have Delia Scattershot jungles, and then I have
Oh, excuse me.
I've had a bunch of jungles over the years. I like them. I like them because they're relatively easy to breed, and like again, you said they're very popular. Even if somebody isn't into carpet pythons, they may get a really nice pair of jungles just to breed and keep, just because they're they attract to the eyes. So I know that there's a couple people that have jungles just as pets. So yeah.
Okay. Travis, have you ever had jungles?
Nope.
No. Okay. Very good. All right. Next one would be inland carpets. I
Never
guess
have.
me and Lucas are the only ones that can
Never
comment.
have.
on this one.
Oh, you first.
I think inland carpets are super underrated. I think they're actually the best pet carpet python. I think that they're super chill. They don't get as big as breadlie. You know, so there's that. But obviously you got blue versus red. I don't know if I would call it blue. It's not blue like a chondro blue. It's a different kind of it's like
Slate blue.
Grayish.
yeah, grayish
Yeah.
blue. Hard to photograph, hard to get it, you know, you got to see it in person. And I know that's kind of like everybody's like, I don't, you know, but I think once you do see it in person, you would be impressed with them, especially an adult. I think there's something about them that
100%.
I just really like. Care, just they're very similar in as far as bread lies go, as you know, super easy. You cannot kill these things. I mean, you know, their attitude, I think they're great. Availability, they're not that available. There's not that many
No.
people working with them. I don't know. I love them. I think they're super underrated. I have, what do I have? 6 of them. I have 2 from Justin's line, 2 from the Schofield line, and 2 from the Mogg line. I don't know. I can't say enough good things about them. It's kind of like a coastal carpet, but better.
Ooh.
I think that if there's going to be, I mean, the only people that I know that are breeding them are Nick, Justin. I think Justin probably breeds them the most. He's probably the guy.
Lon got a pair. Yeah.
Austin
Justin's
Warwick had a
kind of the guy.
clutch.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So
There are a couple
No.
floating out there. So
I completely agree. They're freaking awesome. Absolutely stunning in person. Really just, I don't know, a unique it's hard to put into words, but a unique personality, if you will. I really like their head stamps. Head stamps
Yes.
are always kind of like triangular and cool.
Yep. Yeah.
And I think that if people focus on them more, as you guys have been talking about for like 6 years now, they could be really crazy, but it just hasn't happened yet. So yeah, I'm also going to be at 6, Eric. I'm coming for you.
All right. My carpet of the week is going to be an inland, by the way. So I'm trying to get the more love. Wait do you see the red on this one? And I think that's one of the things that stands out to me, like breeding that red with that.
Oh yeah.
You know, slate gray, blue.
Yeah, there was a really nice one with really good reds that could have won the calendar this year.
Yeah, but it was automatically disqualified after winning for some reason. So, I don't understand how that happened, but
I don't know. The boss told me they can't be here.
Yeah, that
the boss.
The boss.
Yeah. Mr. The Boss.
Like that isn't you.
Question here: could you guys explain the differences between inland lines?
The differences.
I'm unsure on that one.
So
Well,
to
let's
me,
just name them first, right? We got
Mog,
Mog,
Yeah.
Schofield,
Field,
AAR,
yeah, that's
and
the three.
that is 3. Yeah.
So we'll start with Justin's. Right, he has an unrelated male, I believe, that came from Europe that he had imported. I think he bred them with the Mog stuff, right? I'm pretty sure.
I think
Hopefully I
that's
got
right.
that
That's
right.
what I was
I think
about
you're
to say.
right.
I thought Justin's line was a mixture between
Yes.
an external source and one of the existing ones.
They have a different look to them, I think. They're somewhere in between the Schofield and the Mog to me. But beautiful animals. What line do you have, Lucas? Are you doing the Schofield? or
So
the
I
Mog?
have Schofield stuff from Nick, as well as that one clutch that was Schofield paired to the striped inland from Paul.
Gotcha.
Which
Right.
so
Enough.
and then
Yeah.
I will have a pair of AAR, but they're not here yet.
And I think so. The other two, they came from Europe. I find that the Mog is a little lighter in color and probably has more of the red.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the Schofield is a little bit on the darker side. And the pattern is more of that. It's more, I don't know how to explain it, but it's got more circular patterns in the pattern rather than, at least with mine and from what I've seen, more maybe like standard coastal carpet, not really banded, but more of that.
Mhm.
You know what I'm talking about when I'm saying that spotty pattern?
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the 3 lines. I think the most popular is probably the Mog. For some reason, I think the Schofield is probably a little bit. I think it's maybe a little bit trickier to breed. I don't know if that's because maybe they're closer to wild stuff. I don't know how far that line went, but yeah, I don't know. That's my experience. Anything?
Yeah.
Same thing, Lucas.
Yeah,
go
same
ahead.
thing. They eat everything. I don't know if that's been your experience as well, but fish, bird, rodent, hamster, frog legs.
Yeah. Yeah. Lori, she's saying that she works with Justin's, but she would be interested to see what the difference is, behavior and trainability, and varies with lineage. Yeah. Okay. Inland carpets, Darwin carpets. Poor Darwins. They get the shaft.
Yeah.
Time for me to use the restroom. I have no idea.
So, go ahead, Owen. What do you think?
I only have one pure Darwin. Everything else is mix. So, and he's an albino, so he's about as dumb as a sack of hammers.
So I don't know. Here's my feelings on Darwins. Number one, I think that they are a bit on the more wild type carpet type of side. I think that there's not at least the so I'm working with the Phillip line, and I think that they're a little bit closer to there's not as many generations of them that have been bred. I think that I don't know, they seem to be more arboreal, if that makes sense, than any of the other carpets. Not that other carpets are not arboreal, but I just think that Darwins just stay up all the time. They never seem to come down at all. They eat up. They only come down to drink. They're always up. The ones
You guys, when you were out there, didn't Gavin say that basically the ones that they tracked never came out of the trees?
Yeah, he said the one male visited several females without ever touching the ground. Yeah, I mean, any interest in Darwin's, Travis? To jump into that bandwagon?
So I've always had a thing for albinos.
There it is.
So I really do like the look of the albino carpets. I like the ones that are like really white in their head and like just like basically pale whitewashed all the way down that upper third of their body.
Right.
It's just a really stark, nice looking animal.
Yeah.
It's real hard to determine when they're babies, though. Like,
yeah, see, and that's the thing. Like, I have found myself looking at Morph Market and looking at the
Yeah.
babies and being like, but will that turn white?
Well, can you hold this for me for 2 years and then let me look at it then? Like, yeah.
Yeah, it's just like, how do you know? Well, I can look at the parents. But can I? Because I could look at the parents, and the parents may, like, one of them will be white-headed and one of them won't. And with my luck, I'll pick a baby
Pick all
that
the
won't
ones
be the
you want.
white-headed.
Yeah.
And then, will I like it? Probably, but will I be disappointed deep inside of me? Most likely, yes.
Okay.
Well said.
Somebody get this man a already changed albino.
You have what, a male or a female, Owen?
I have a boy.
You have a boy. Okay.
Yeah.
So when you decide that you don't want Darwins anymore, just send the boy here.
Okay.
And I'll breed them to one of my head albinos.
Okay.
Because I don't have albino Darwin anymore.
You don't have an albino? All right. Well,
no.
Well, hell, I might send them to you next year, because if I don't get anything breeding out of this year, because the only female I have to breed them to is that caramel het that you sent me.
How dare you?
You gave it to me.
Exactly.
I told you I needed a Darwin female, and you gave me a caramel hat.
I think Darwins don't get enough love, man. I really do think that everybody skips over the Darwins because all they cared about in the early days was the albinos. I think me and Justin Julander were the only one cared about getting hit, so we had normal ones. But at the same time, I remember the days of those early days when albino carpets were like $125,000, like this crazy price tag. Never thought you would have them. And it's the way herpetoculture goes, man. You want what you can have, and when you have it, you don't want it.
It's a weird hammer. Some dude came up and offered me, it was a het female and an albino male. It was like, was it $12,000? Something like I told you about that. Like, and they were
way back in the
baby.
day. Yeah, I
remember.
remember.
And I'm like, I don't know what to do with this. Like, it's just like I don't have that money.
I think there's a lot of potential there for selective breeding. I think if you see some of the people in Australia, what they've done with some of that selective breeding, they're amazing. Obviously they have some morphs that like the caramel and the hypo and all that stuff that they have is, not jealous. Nick, he produces those tigers. And I think they're freaking awesome that he's selectively bred those. I think that they have a unique look to them.
Do those not have the albino in them at all? Does any of the Darwin have no albino?
Yes, the Terry Phillips.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, there are non-albino Darwins out there.
Excellent.
Mine are from that stuff,
Yeah.
Wait till you're old and broke, Eric. You'll get over having to have everything. Yeah, I just want each of the subspecies of carpet. I don't need everything anymore. But yes, at some point I did need everything.
Yeah, and
but
they all ended up over here.
I remember the days where Eric said he was going to have every python species.
In his defense, they kept moving the goalposts on him when they kept discovering new species.
I was like, I
They
can't
did.
keep up with this.
No, you go to hell.
Not another one.
When the Barkers of the World, Pythons of the World 3 came out, I said, this game is over.
Nope, I quit. Like,
This game is over.
They're
There's like
splitting
15
things.
white-lipped python species. Like, no, I can't do this. I'll just stick with carpets. Yeah, I don't know. Availability, I think they kind of fall into the same thing. You'll see a lot of crosses, but if you want like just a normal plain straight ahead Darwin, I think, probably again, Nick is probably one of the
only one
that I know of that's really, I mean, TJ, I think he does them. There's a couple other people that do them, but I think for that, you're kind of looking at, Nick. Breadlie.
Aha!
Finally.
Okay, finally, something everybody can contribute
Travis,
to.
you first.
We'll start
this
with
time.
Travis.
Yes.
Travis, you have Breadlie. One drops things. What's that like?
Yeah, one drops things all the time. No, I mean, like I said, I really like Breadlie. I like the color on them. That red has just always been, like with albino. Not that I don't like brown snakes, because I do have all kinds of weird brown snakes, but it. I like, those weird outlier type of things, and bredli have a color palette that's just the outlier from the rest of the carpets. So I like that about them, and there's a lot that can be done with them. I think that, again, going back to like just selectively breeding things, I think there's just so much potential there that people haven't realized, and that really hit home for me. I think it was last week. Ben posted up that
And
basically
frame.
black, and that thing was amazing. And yeah, like that's just beautiful.
Yeah, that's
That's beautiful
crazy,
in like the other way.
yeah.
Yeah, well, that is going the other way. That's the the first
different
one I
one.
picked up was from Nick. It's an Afors, and
Right.
I liked it because the Afors have got that red, but they still have that dark outlining on them that the hypos don't have. Not that the hypos aren't beautiful, also, but then, like I said, I saw that one that Ben posted up that's just black as pitch, and I
very
never would have
interesting.
thought, hey, take it the other way. But seeing that animal, that's impressive. And
It's only like 2 generations in as well.
yeah.
And Imagine.
Yeah, when Ben's like, I'm basically going for the bowl and eye brettles, I was like, I can absolutely see it, and it'll be an incredible thing. And I think there's a lot of different ways you can take it. You look at the palette of them in the wild, go into INAT and look at them, and you've got that, that orange, that yellow, that when Casey Cannon went down there and he shot that picture of one, he's like, it's like peanut butter colored, and that was a very good description for it. They just have a lot of potential to them, I think.
Look at that face. How could you not love that face?
Yeah, man.
And like I said, they're bomb proof as all get out.
I think, what did Nick say?
They
You gotta
like to
drop a
display.
rock on it to kill it.
Yeah,
So, yeah.
It's got to be like a burning hot rock too.
A big rock, yeah.
From Petco?
You could put like a frozen brick on top of them, and they'd just be like, okay.
I'm gonna try to eat this. Yeah.
They sit out on display. They don't, they're not going to hide. They're very, I don't want to say ballsy, but they're just
inquisitive.
They're ballsy.
They're inquisitive. They're
Yeah.
comfortable. You see Lori posting up all the time. They come out and they hang and they do their thing. When I'm cleaning the snake room, I'll just slide the door open on their cage, and they'll stick their head out and they'll look around and they'll chill, and then they'll pull their head back and they'll be done.
That's the dream.
Yeah.
That'll be my diamond setup when my dog dies. Excuse me, I'm gonna go poison my dog.
Whoa!
Took a little bit of a dark turn there, Owen.
He's had a good run. So.
He's had a good run. All right.
Yeah. So yeah.
Oh,
I really
can anybody
like
spot the problem with this image?
There's this giant opening in the back. It's a little weird, right?
It says Morelia spilota bredli.
God.
Oh my God.
Get it off.
They were doing so well.
How dare you?
How dare you? No, 100%.
Other than having the one strange one that doesn't want to eat because she's too stupid to realize that she has to eat.
Yeah.
I think they're great.
Yeah, they are fantastic snakes for sure. Super underrated. I feel that they don't get enough attention in the python world. I mean, they do in the Morelia world, but when you take it a step out and you look at the python world, I think that people just pass on them and they're just missing. It's bad
on the forums. Whenever anybody's like, "I'm looking for an arboreal snake that's great for display," and I'm like, honestly, bredli.
Yeah.
It's bad when they're like, "It's a brettle carpet." I'm like, stop. just stop. I have 6 right now, which is 6. Yep, I have 6. I've bought my original pair from Mike Curtin because he couldn't get them to breed, and I got them as adults. And just because it was during my must-have all Morelia, no matter what phase, and I'm very glad I chose them. I've produced several clutches of bredli over the years. They are awesome animals, especially when it comes to breeding. Very good moms, and I have I want to say she's got to be close to 9 foot female, was my original girl. And she just, when she shakes loose, it's like there's 30 something eggs. Like her last clutch, I sold half of it and I still have 16 babies. So,
Oh,
yeah. But they make great pets because I've had people who just want normal males as pets. They fire up if you give them something that has some sort of natural light or some UV, so they kind of get that nice bright orange on them. And that's even before you get into like morphs. Like Stonewash is awesome. I'm hoping to produce some this year from that girl that I got from Lucas. So babies can be a pain in the balls to get
I
going.
have yet to have that experience.
When it hits you, it is like, and that is a coin flip every year. This clutch is going to be ravenous to eat everything in front of it. This clutch is going to be afraid of their own shadows and not want to have anything close to the, like, oh no, a fuzzy, like, and it's, you almost
I had more trouble with the jungles than all 5
you gotta
clutches
get
of
like a
Reynolds.
live. I've had to take I finally got the last of the baby bredli holdouts from this year to eat, and it was a super hot hopper, like too big of a mouse to give to this animal, and she choked it down. So they want something larger size or something like that. A lot of times, Eric and I have talked about this before, where it's like you can't get them to eat, but then you give them a live hopper mouse, and they go for that over a fuzzy. So
yeah,
for sure.
But
No,
they're
I mean,
awesome, bomb proof. Love them.
I would echo everything you guys already said. I mean, my namesake, my first love.
Yeah, when are we going to change the name of your company?
Stop it, never.
I mean, like, we have to keep one bredli. Like, there's going to be one bredli amongst all these blackheads.
The center.
All right.
Right?
Yes,
right?
correct.
Yes.
I'm saying all right to Owen. Getting off
we have
topic.
to change the logo so it looks like a Woma instead. Got it.
I was about to say I think I had more Brettles than Womas, but I don't know if that's true. Not in a few months.
Not for, if it is, not for much longer.
But no, they're absolutely the best. When I was working in retail at the vivarium and people were asking about a great first python, I would be straight up with them and say, if you can find it in inland, if you're okay with a little bit bigger Brettles. And they don't have to be huge, you know. You guys know that it's definitely feed dependent in many cases. But I've never had a bad experience, and I love them. They're great.
Yeah, they're cool.
I've
always liked them. It's always a good year when you got some bredli too.
Yeah, I have yet to crack the code of breeding them. I will. Most of mine are small. No, actually, I have some that are kind of old, but
I would say I think you're pretty close to.
Yeah,
I think maybe not this year, but next. But
yeah,
honestly, be very mean to them. Put them in some Tupperware bin. Put them in some bins and throw them on your outdoor your little room leads outside.
Well, yeah,
mine got the 48 on the balcony.
I think so. This would be the diamond room. My next room over, I think I'm going to build like a big Bredli cage, and like that one fun. I posted up. So,
nice.
Yeah,
I would agree with what Lori said too. There are some differences in temperament between the stuff. Like the hypo stuff is pretty consistently more high strung, which is interesting. But it's it's a different bloodline. And I've never talked to somebody that didn't notice the same. So I think that's a pretty reliable trend.
But I will also say that it also depends on the animal too, because I know one of the bredli I sent to Lori was with a friend of mine, and it was biting everything, aggressive as all kinds of hell, and had a bunch of problems. It came back to me, and then it went to Lori, and she's not had any issues. It crawls around, does the thing, and all that fun stuff. So
sometimes it goes the other way too. I had some folks that really specifically wanted a really chilled out baby, and
spicy.
I would take the time, to go mess with each of them, wiggle my fingers in front of them, and I sent her one that was chill as can be, and apparently it landed as a demon. So it happens.
Dude, it's the switch in the environment. Eric and I joke about it. We have ones that it was fine for me. It goes over to Eric's, and he's like, "Why did you send me this torpedo with teeth or vice versa.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. They don't like us
Yep.
switching stuff
Yeah,
around.
no,
but
they don't
damn
like us
it,
Living
Owen,
changing.
things,
Yeah.
they're
They
not
don't get a
machines.
choice.
No, must never change. All right, God,
Okay,
guys.
so I know everybody loves Brettles that's into Morelia. They even, again, I think Crow Fabulous there kind of he kind of pointed something out that's probably why inlands are not the most popular is that
It's a great point.
yeah, inlands are best
Yeah.
pet, but not the best pet price.
Well,
range,
exactly, because
You
what
can
is
get
it?
a nice Brettles for $250.
normal
Yeah.
baby Bradline male, $150.
Oh, okay. Owen, drop the price.
Damn right I did.
He's like, damn you.
No.
But yeah, yeah, I don't know. They're pretty awesome. They were
Yeah.
voted superior Morelia over on THP. We'll take that with a grain of salt because they're Colubra
It's
people.
THP, guys. I mean,
But no, I'm just kidding.
come now.
All love, all love. We saved the best for last. I mean, what would
The
it be? I
Papayans?
mean, yeah, come on. The Papayans are the winners. I do think that they can be out of the carpets that I've kept, right? And this is only because I love them, but I could see where there seem to be a little bit more temperamental when it comes to humidity. I think that they are a little more temperamental when it comes to
I don't have any for sale
temperature.
right now.
What?
And that's the price I used to have them. Apparently, they're too low. This was bad of you people to tell me that. So,
However, I do think that they have the most potential behind jungles and coastals to be selectively bred for a million different directions that you can take them in. You can get high yellow, high orange, striped, banded, dark, the lavender type of thing, the ones that have the big portholes, the one that have no portals, the ones that are
Right.
that chocolate brown, I mean, there's just so many directions that you can take them in. I don't know. We know how you feel about IJs, Owen.
they're stupid. I only ever had a pair. I had
Okay.
one pair of a het granite female and a granite male, and numerous attempts to breed never worked. The granite male eventually did die, and then I
Okay.
sent the female over to Jason Balin because he had a granite male, and we got 3 clutches from her before she passed. And those babies, I had a couple granite babies that were fun and they were great. I think the issue was that she was an original line granite het female.
Uh-huh. Right.
And his male was an original line granite male. So we did have a couple babies that hatched out and bombed immediately. So that was my only experience with IJs was really, I'm sorry, Papa ones. It was doing that. And it was one of those things where I kind of set myself up for some failures because the granite stuff was so inbred and there were so many issues with that before it was outcrossed and things like that I was painting myself into a corner. And I only had one pair. So obviously with all my failings, it could have been pointed at the fact that I only had 2 animals to go off of.
Right.
But we talked about this a couple times. I'd love to get a pair of wild caughts just to muck with and see if I could have it go on and stuff like that. And that's
You don't
the
know how
problem is,
happy that makes me.
but the problem, that's like you are the problem though. Why do I have to do it? Eric's doing it. Like I don't. It's like he's over there. He's
I'm
got
getting
it.
in your way. I see.
The base is
Okay.
covered. Yeah, I don't need to do it. So
I think one of the things that I love about them the most, right, is
Mhm.
that they have those dark lines on their heat bits, on their
Yeah.
lips, on the labial scales. I just think that that's just,
I think
I don't know,
they have
something about that. Kind of like Bolins have it.
They
And
have a lot
unless you
more
breed Bolins
contrast.
to olives, they probably lose it.
So I mean, maybe they might get better. But like, whoa, now let's see what happens. Let's see the
Right.
results first. They have much more of a contrast. So where you have that contrast in a jungle where it's black and yellow, you have more color in that, and you kind of have more of like a contrast, a smattering. Like you have different colors that are separated by the blacks that look really cool. That is a poison ivy baby.
No, that is not.
No,
How
Nice.
dare you?
look how black it is.
So much
Black.
size.
No, this is from my banded girl. This is
Okay.
the babies that Lucas is getting. Well, they're not babies
Oh.
anymore.
I mean,
No,
they're
yeah, they were
adults.
babies 2 years
They're
ago.
adults at this point. Yeah. Lucas needs to take them before they breed.
But
yeah.
but Lucas
No,
is
they're
not
not 2 years old, but
complaining,
yes,
and Lucas
yes.
is bowing at the feet of the Podfather.
Yeah. Yeah, but that's from that clutch. Super banded. See what I mean? You can go in so many different directions. I
You
love
can.
that
Woma
fire.
Papa
That's what
wins.
the hell.
That's
nah,
what you'll call them.
I'm not
That's what,
sending
that's
them
what
to
their
you
morph
now.
will be.
No, I don't mean
Uh,
hybrids. I mean perfect bands.
No, that's just
Oh,
what
I
we'll call the
gotcha.
morph. It'll be like the ball
It'll be the
python
Woma.
Woma. Yeah.
IJ.
Yeah, the Woma IJ. Why,
Hidden
Lucas? Why?
gene.
It's a hidden
Oh,
gene
no.
Woma ball python carpet.
Yeah, I don't know. I think one of the other advantages to Pop-One carpets is that you can get wild caught stock and you can have
Yeah.
unrelated lines. I think that if that's something that you're trying to get into, I definitely would say that it's not as easy as you think to establish a wild caught carpet python. It's very, very difficult.
It seems like it
But
would be like
doable,
I could do
but
it, but
difficult.
I've never done it before. So yeah.
Yeah, I don't think it would take long either to breed the yellow into Pop-Ones, but again, it just depends on which way you're going. But
I mean, some of those ones that you just posted in the chat already had a lot of yellow to them.
Yeah, 100%.
I mean,
Eric's like,
they were
maybe.
really impressive animals, and I never really had opinions one way or another on the inlands, but the description that I could give of them, just having watched what you have done with them over the years and the stuff you've put up, the stuff Riley's put up, just seeing them more broadly across. Years and years and years ago, I had a book called Exotic Pets, and when I say years ago, I mean like high school.
Okay.
And so back in the early 90s, the guy wrote this book about exotic pets, and in each section, he had lizards and frogs and fish and everything. He listed off like 15 or so species that he thought were good species, and he just listed carpet pythons. And I'm sure in the 90s, it was just the generalized thing.
Right.
We're probably looking at, the coastal type of thing, but
Right.
his description of it was that they're a beautiful animal because they're like a fine Turkish rug. They've got all these just variety of tones to them. And while they are all basically like earth tones, they're all different forms of earth tone that just they blend and contrast. And that description of carpet pythons stuck with me, and seeing the stuff that you put up, it is so apt, because I don't want to say that it's just varying shades of brown, but that kind of what it is. Some of them are more sand brown or yellow brown. Some of them are those chocolatey browns. Some of them are those olivey browns, but they are. And there's a million ways that you could go with these.
Yeah. So that's good, Travis. I like the way you said that.
I'm gonna write that down.
I did. I wrote it down.
Gotta get this guy on a podcast.
Yeah.
IJs equal brown snake. Got it.
Well,
So you should like them, Owen, because you like brown snakes.
yeah.
Delete that. Okay.
The other thing that I noticed with the Pop-Ones, more so than any of my other carpets, is that they have that big, chunky head. I love that. Brettles have it.
I mean, coastals have it.
Nah, not like this. No.
Hell's wrong with
Maybe
you? No,
coastals over in Australia, but not the
my
coastals we
do-
got.
No,
No.
You mean
disagree,
your
sir.
jungle?
No.
Shut up.
Yeah.
Shut up.
So this is the mom to the ones that the one I just showed up, right? So you can
Right.
see the bands, and you can see how that orange has refined and whatnot. I love that animal. And then you got something like what Travis was saying. You got something that's like completely different.
Also, size on them, they're not necessarily
Oh no,
huge.
like that's completely different.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Hold on, Lucas. You'll see it in an hour.
How'd
By
you
the
know?
time
I'm
he
just-
sees it, I pull it down.
Because Lucas is like waiting, like he's like moves a little closer, and he's
I
like,
will never be the first to comment on a photo.
nope.
But I don't know. That's sort of the
You should just start pretending, be like, ooh.
I
and then
have
when it
done
comes,
that
like,
in the past. Wow.
we don't have imbricata.
Oh, look at that snake.
We don't have imbricata, but
No,
Speak for yourself, nerd.
I have
And,
questions. Yeah.
we don't have imbricata, so we can't touch on those. However,
Nope.
when I see wild ones, there's a lot of variability in imbricata.
Tons.
A lot. Probably more so than I've seen in anything else in Australia, in my opinion. So, I don't know. So that leads us to the end. We don't really have any other way. I am going to share this because we're almost at the end anyway.
Mhm.
But for the carpet of the week is an inland because I want to give them some love this year in 2023. But check out this beautiful, come on.
Leave the picture up for 10 minutes so Lucas can see it. He likes inlands.
So this
I
is
like
a locality, right?
Ooh.
Right?
Wow, look at that.
Stop it.
Oh, I thought he saw it.
No, he didn't. This is why you're so easily fooled.
Damn it.
Ooh, wow, look at that.
There he goes.
Yeah, that
was
almost
actually-
looks like
that was-
mine.
There's the authentic Lucas.
There's the genuine. Did you notice
Yes.
the difference?
So this was found in Addervale, Queensland.
Okay.
I really
like
like
it.
that little succulent next to its head.
Yeah, right. Let's see. I'll put another view of it. Sorry, Lucas. This is gonna take a while.
Oh, don't even worry.
It doesn't matter.
There's another. The more of that red.
I like this spot, like the circle, like I wouldn't even call them rosettes. I keep wanting to say rosettes, but the circle's going down.
The ocelli.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah,
I was
thank
talking
you.
about with the.
Thank you.
Remember when I was talking about the Schofield line? That's what it is, but it doesn't have that red.
Okay, so here's my hot take. I think that when inlands look like that, they are the prettiest carpet. I think they're prettier than diamonds. I think they're prettier than the best Brettles.
I think you have a fever.
I agree with you.
I think you have a fever. Something's going around here.
I look at these animals, like specifically this animal, and what I see, and this is probably going to get me beaten by some people, is basically an inverse bredli.
All right.
Actually,
Yeah. Okay.
You know, and I'm not saying that in a derogatory way, but it's like, you know, if you kind of basically reversed it, you're reducing the red and increasing that camel
Yeah.
color to them.
Yeah.
So
Look at that
inlands
head,
are the
man.
nega bredli. Got it.
Yeah.
The Mega Morelia.
Yes.
I don't know if let's see if there's another. Here's another shot. You can see more of the red, a little bit on the. But
Is it the
yeah,
red you like, or the grayish kind of?
I just love the
flavor?
contrast between the two colors.
Neither
Yeah.
would stand without the other.
You know what I mean? To me, I just think that, to me, that's what I look for in the snake. It's not so much the color; it's the contrast between the colors.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, that
I-
right there. So
on, man.
I need to
it's
move so I
not
can get a
the
more-
gamma Flinders thing. That's just
No, so I'll show you where they're from because I brought the map.
Let's all go to the map. They're there. That's
Well,
where they are.
If you're gonna do it,
Stop that.
do it
I'm
right,
muting
right?
him.
So they're farther out
See,
west. Than
my mind
Queensland.
went there too, Lucas, but that's because I, have
Children.
that watch
Yeah,
that
look,
shit.
Lucas
and
doesn't
it's
have
because
children.
I am a
Child.
Yeah, you are probably within spitting distance of my eldest.
I'm the map. I'm the map.
Stop
I'm
it.
the map.
Muting him right
So
now.
there's the coastal carpets right
Okay.
here, and
Okay.
there's the inland carpets.
Okay.
Notice the difference between the two environments. What colors
Well-
do you see?
Different shades of brown.
Yeah, there seems to be more brown in the near the blue.
Yes.
Yeah.
Anyway, this is
More
where they're from.
chlorophyll to
Out in
the
this area.
east.
What kind of
Yeah.
terrain is the blue?
What?
Nothing. What kind of carpets can we find out there? It's water.
Yellow
Owen.
sea snake carpets.
Yes. And that will end the program for tonight.
Dang. It's not very ceremonious.
Brutal. Yeah. Jesus. You think, and we're
No.
done. Good night.
I would like to thank Travis for hanging out with us. For
Yeah,
2
man, it
hours.
was fun.
I
This
appreciate you
lunacy.
having me.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, everybody was late. We forgot about Ryan Young. He made some nice inlands last year. What
There's always-
hasn't Ryan Young produced?
Exactly. Like, listen, whenever we're talking about who bred really cool pythons, Ryan is already on the list no matter what we're talking
Yeah,
about.
it doesn't
Yeah.
matter. Like Ryan's just everybody thinks,
There.
okay, and Ryan.
And
Right.
Ryan, yeah.
Yeah. He doesn't like carpets though. He's not a carpet guy.
Oh, no.
He's not.
I
No,
mean,
he
I-
said that
guy.
multiple times.
I
It's
know he
not
says
like in
that,
his
but
wheelhouse. I think he's
I've-
more of that Indonesian type of python guy. You know what I mean? I
I've
think that's his
constantly
wheelhouse.
said that I want to be
Well,
Ryan when I
somebody
grow up.
gift him a group of Bolins, please, God.
I'm surprised he hasn't jumped on that yet.
Well, why
He's
Maybe
would
we
you?
just
waiting.
don't know.
He probably
Maybe
has
he
a
spread them
secret-
like 6 times.
Yeah, he probably has a secret horde of them everywhere. He's like,
He's
you
like,
silly
"Ah,
people
it's
breeding
so
them to olive
easy."
pythons and whatnot.
But he does this professionally. Why would he take a year's worth of his python breeding to buy a pair of snakes?
Oh, a few years if you're buying from Nerd.
Exactly.
Sorry. Don't hurt me.
Oh no,
I'm just a
we're gonna
just a
get the
child.
morph.
I know the map song from Dora.
Yeah.
What is it?
Yeah.
He's the evil morph god. He's coming after us.
We're gonna get some nasty emails from people.
He's coming
I-
strong.
Whatever that one guy's
already
name
hit
is, that
me for
just
back
an
in the Bush League
animated
days, so,
thing.
you
Don't
know.
make a video.
That's
about
it's
me.
okay. Okay.
The Bush League days. Remember that forum? Oh,
Yeah.
I missed that forum. That was the good old days. Okay. I guess we'll close it out there.
Well, Again, if you're listening to this right now, scoot the little thing on the
Way
episode back to the beginning
Yep.
and listen to what Travis was saying. If you
Yep.
missed it,
Mhm.
definitely.
Contact them if you're interested or if you want some more information on kidney donation and go from there.
Yes, it's
Yes.
appreciated.
His info will be in the show notes, so you can get it there and you can follow it out. So, yeah, I guess for closing, I'll just run down our list real quick. Cold-blooded caffeine. That is if you're into coffee like me. I don't know if everybody else. You like coffee, Travis?
I
don't
don't.
know if
I'm
you
a
said
tea
that.
drinker.
Tea drinker. Okay, Nipper
Yeah.
would love you.
Yeah.
No,
That'll be
Nipper would probably hate me because my tea of
Oh, you-
choice is chai teas.
Oh, he just
So
threw.
Oh.
the
Oh
Brits
yeah,
are-
he
the
just
Brits are
threw
way
he just
the hell
threw his
off that
Earl
shit.
Grey across the room, which in
Right.
Britain is a death sentence.
You're good with
So-
me, Travis. I love all teas.
Yeah.
Mate,
But
Mate.
I'm a tea drinker, and there's some high caffeine teas out there. So
There are.
I would pitch to cold-blooded caffeine that they could make some tea blends
We
too.
can expand. We can
Okay.
expand,
this is true. We're gonna have a
Yep.
tea blend. It's gonna call Nipper's tea.
MTRT,
my
Nipper's choice. Mate,
Yes.
mate.
He loves how we try to impersonate him, but he says I do it the
my
best.
days.
Mate, come on, mate. Get yourself together, mate.
It's not David Attenborough.
He's going
He's not
to it.
your bro.
He's going to an island to find a lizard. I love
Everything's
this
all
guy.
everything's all
hardcore.
6s and 7s. Yeah.
Burrito.
Burritos.
He doesn't like burritos, especially when they're the
He,
size of
he thinks the
freaking
herping
dog.
trip is both too hard and too easy
And
at the
too much
same
food
time.
within the tortilla.
Yeah.
Yes. But I love him. He's
Yep.
he's my man. We're
Yep.
gonna be herping in Utah in no time. It's gonna be excellent. Yeah, so check out coldbloodedcaffeine.com. The referral link will be in the show notes. You can go over and you get 10% off your order. We're gonna be doing a giveaway
hmm
of some stuff, so I got to square that away with them. But we're also going to be giving away this book pretty soon. It came today in the mail. I don't know what we're going to do to give it away. Something, maybe somehow, but somebody's going to.
Hunters in the Trees. It's a natural history of arboreal snakes.
It's
So
excellent book.
yeah, lots of things about any kind of arboreal things. There's different obviously the boas,
Ball
Sandinia,
pythons.
ball python. Yeah,
They're semi-arboreal, man.
yeah.
Get it together.
There was a chapter
This
about
is
Calabar
strictly
burrowing
arboreal.
pythons, which I found really weird. Like, why is that up there?
I was
Uh,
you mock that,
Yeah.
but let me
Uh-oh, what's
me
he got?
find
No.
the picture.
He's like, let me go find it.
Let me find this
You
picture
put
from
your
my
animal
cage.
in a tree and took a picture of it.
No, I didn't put him in a tree, but he did. Let me.
I would
pull open
respect
the
it if
chat
you
window
did.
and send it to
I
you guys.
mean,
I have a
Call the fire department like a kitten stuck in the tree.
I have
My-
like a large stump
ball
in their cage.
and he went up right in it.
I'm sending it to the chat right now.
Okay.
Ah.
Yeah, all right.
Eric, do the thing.
Eric, do things.
Okay.
Oh, it's sweet.
Oh.
Good. Sweet
Oh,
baby.
wow.
Good Lord. Oh, my dice.
He said, "Oh my days." Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah, there you go. All right.
I guarantee if I had dropped a rat pup underneath him, he would have just dropped on it from that.
You wouldn't know how to like go get it. He would just fall on it.
Yeah, pretty much.
100%.
But
That's pretty cool, man.
Damn it! No, you don't breed those because then I'm gonna want them. Okay, like I forbid it.
So these are. What are these exactly?
this is Calabar bow-ring boa.
It's a boa, not a
Son of a
python, even though it
It's-
is.
Yeah, even
call
though
it
everywhere you'll see them listed as pythons, they're not. They're boas.
Yeah.
Does the scientific name have an X in it or something?
No.
Oh, never mind.
Wow, that's cool, man. That's a cool snake.
Yeah,
Their heads
they're-
look just like the back ends of them.
yeah,
It's
their
great.
tails look just like their heads. They're basically, well, I guess depending on how you want to look at it, they're the African version of the rubber boa, or the rubber boa is the American version of them. They're
Love it.
So when I think of the burrowing python, I think of that Mexican burrowing python. I think
Loxosimus.
that,
Yeah,
yeah.
That's what I was
that's
thinking
what
of with
Lucas
the
is
X.
thinking of,
Yeah.
yeah,
Those I want.
that's really cool, man.
yeah.
That setup's
these
pretty
Oh, so
sweet,
guys
too.
are-
that's not the same thing.
No.
no, this is not the Loxosimus.
Oh,
Loxosimus, like you said, are from Mexico. These are from Africa.
uh,
They're,
Today's not
they're
my
nest
day.
raiders. They're mostly, mostly crepuscular, but every so often this guy climbs up his branch and dangles from there.
Weird.
I don't think it's crazy to think that a ball python would go up in a tree. I don't think that's.
I think it's totally good.
hey, if
it's-
womas
I-
will do it, anyone
Yeah.
can.
Well,
I think if
it's-
anything's in their way, they're gonna do it.
yeah, it's an opportunistic behavior, and that's
Right.
the thing that people need to understand is, if you read the paper and you don't read it with a critical mindset and you decide that they're semi-arboreal, I'm sorry, you missed the entire point of understanding snakes. Like,
Mhm.
you can look at a ball python and see that it is not an arboreal snake. Now, that doesn't mean they won't climb, but it's an opportunistic behavior. It is not something they are designed to
The
do.
tails are not.
Yeah,
set
even
for that
just the
kind of stuff.
tail, right?
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
tail, the whole body structure. I mean,
yeah.
they are built heavy bodied.
Yes.
The mass of their body is downward. They're more a ground oriented snake.
Very
They
much
can
how.
climb. They will climb. But saying that they're semi-arboreal is like, if you and especially the time of year that people go looking for them for these papers, like again, read it critically, and went to the wettest part of their habitat during the wettest part of the year, and we only looked in the heavily forested areas in the trees for the ones that it's like, okay, well, you missed, they've got a range that's the size of the United States, but we basically went looking for them in the soaking wet swamp full of trees during the rainy season.
and it was
Yeah.
out, and it was up in a tree to get out of the rain. Weird.
Yeah,
Like-
it's like, if I go down to South America during the flooded season and I find a bunch of sloths swimming in the river,
they're semi-aquatic.
would
Write it down.
would I look stupid if I was like, okay, well, sloths are semi-aquatic, so we have to start keeping them in pools of
With
water. That's
Giant
what people are
ponds.
interpreting that paper as, rather than be like, okay, so during certain times of the year, under certain conditions, they go up because that's where the food is. That's where
Because
they
they
have
want
to
to
go to
live.
find the food and to be able to survive better during that time of year in that habitat. But they're not doing that all the damn time.
Yeah.
This snake wants to live during these couple months. Weird. Like, okay, yeah.
Well, I'm going to leave you with this because I think
Spray
it's kind
those
of in the same line, right?
Hmm.
Hold on. Wait a minute.
Sloth are semi-aquatic.
That was great.
I never thought in a
I'm gonna
million
write that
years
down.
that I would see a rattlesnake in a tree.
Rattlesnake in a tree.
Yep.
But there it is.
I will see it in a million years.
That's a banded rock rattlesnake. There's no rocks in that tree.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we can't call them banded rock rattlesnakes anymore. We have to call them
Yep, no,
banded
it's
tree
wrong.
rattlesnakes.
Right.
Y'all didn't put it there?
Yeah.
No, I mean,
No.
I've seen pictures of Western Diamondbacks like sitting on top of a saguaro cactus. You know, it's like that doesn't
Right.
make it arboreal. It's taking advantage of a situation for some reason. But understand that reason is not a reason to completely decide that the snake is totally different. So yeah,
Yeah.
it won't be in the hunters of the trees.
It won't be in here. It
So,
will not be in there.
Yeah, but the cool thing about this book is it talks about how snakes that are arboreal are designed differently than snakes that are not, right?
Yeah.
Even just their respiratory system, how their whole system, well, not different,
Because
but
of course,
you know,
it's like a
right.
horse can swim, but if it was aquatic, it would have evolved to be more like a whale.
Yes.
Yeah, it would be a manatee, right?
I
Look
mean,
at the bones.
Right.
he's not wrong.
We
I don't
swim.
know
We're
if
not
the-
aquatic. Like the physiology should
There are
inform
actual
the term.
there's actual
Yeah.
physiological
Travis
differences.
knows what I'm saying.
Yes, I know exactly what you're saying. You know,
I'm not
It's not just like long tail. You know, there are the
Yeah.
way the bone structure is, like
Mhm.
you know, Eric
Yes.
said the lung structure, the whole
Yeah.
internal organ arrangement is different because an arboreal snake, you know, it has to hold its body differently. It has to be able to shift its organs differently.
Right. Did you go to ICAST, Travis?
I did not.
Mm.
No. You remember? Oh, I don't think you were in the talk, Owen, but we had Dr. Harvey Lillywhite was the guy that wrote How Snakes Work.
Yeah.
And he gave this whole presentation about
Yeah, I was there.
arboreal.
He put him on
You
a
were there
tilt
with me?
table. He put
Yeah,
him on a
remember?
tilt
And he was
table
just saying about how just the whole, biology of arboreal snakes. And then he was talking about aquatic snakes and how
Yeah.
they're different than completely different. And these snakes are just, I don't know.
He-
That stuff
he
fascinates
put-
me. But
a bunch of different snakes on a tilt table, and the arboreal ones were able to remain conscious when upside down for a certain amount of time,
Mhm.
where the terrestrial ones passed out. Like
The
it was that kind of a
circulatory
thing.
system
Yeah.
does have to be different.
So-
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
100%. Yeah. And think about it, right? They're hanging in a tree with their head down, right? You know what I
Pointed,
mean?
yeah.
Like,
Mhm.
You try.
so I don't know. Good stuff. Anyway, we'll end there.
Yeah, now we just did that. Let's go.
Right. Yeah. See, NPR Network. Follow us on the things. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. If you want to get in touch with us, info@MoreliaPythonRadio.com.
Cool.
Anything else?
Nope.
I'm the map. I'm the map.
That's
I'm
enough.
the map.
Okay. All right. Have a good night.
Right.
Bye, everyone.
My baby Brettles are friendly.